Championship Sunday here in Oceania, and although Europe may have delivered a plethora of upsets, France falling apart, here in OCE yesterday things stayed the same, but that doesn't mean this trend will continue as our final four teams get set to do battle to determine who is going to be our first regional champion of the second split. Will Power continue that undefeated streak? Will Pioneers or a new team perhaps dethrone them? Yummy, CJ. Today we're going to find out.
We certainly are. We've got the four teams expected to be here. We've got a fantastic Sunday of, three major best of sevens with the major on the line.
It's going to be crazy. It's going to be big, as you said. It was, Saturday, it felt like it went as expected. Order was restored after a chaotic Friday with the Swiss stage. Team Power, what were they doing? Seems like they're back. Feels like our top four formal are in form going into Sunday. That's what we want.
Yeah, that said, though, I definitely think there is a guaranteed spanner in the works that's going to be coming, especially after our first semifinal matchup, because with Power taking on the Pioneers, it really is opening the door for a new team.
It certainly is. We've got the top teams matched up against each other from last split. There is a massive door open in terms of the early points. And as I said at the end of yesterday, I feel like if you win in that Kib Gang versus, hang on, who am I?
HS
Chiefs, yeah, I forgot about who the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If you win that match, you may be able to get the momentum to take out one of the top dogs.
A few people, can you let me know in chat if you're liking how loud I am right now. I appreciate it. Really just getting straight through all of your ear canals. But it's great to be here. 3 best of sevens away from crowning our first champion. And formal, as we say, it's only the first event of the split, but we just realised, come event 3, just how important each and every series is. Every point's so crucial. So, very excited.
I'm glad you're trying to, soften the blow, I suppose, for the 4 teams who got knocked out yesterday. Gremlins, GZ, HSP, Fizz 6, and I don't know, we have a little bit of time to talk about these teams now. I kind of want to pose the question to you guys. If you had to pick one of these 4 teams to make the bounce back, who would it be?
HSP.
Well, your boy. Did we talk about your boy yesterday? I mean, he's one of the best one-game wonders I've ever seen in Rocket League. First game hat-trick, other games go to sleep, Yummy. You know, can he perform over a whole series?
Yeah, we've seen it before. We saw it in the Swiss stage, so certain we could see that again. Obviously, you know, they didn't have the greatest showing yesterday, but I certainly want to see maybe even some fresh faces potentially making it up to the top, or a fresh team, I should say. They're not really fresh faces at the top. But, you know, Gremlins, I'll be honest, they've been top 4, top 5th best team in OCE for so long. Like, they've had a million billion chances to do something, and they never have. Like, come on, give somebody else a shot.
Ooh,
I mean,
I don't know. I feel like we're just hitting them with a stick, aren't we? We're just telling, do something, and they're not doing anything at the moment. No, but they're consistent, Yummy. They're always around the mark. Maybe our top 4 is just really good, like Europe, or maybe not Europe anymore.
Yeah, yesterday kind of put some question marks on that. It wasn't the best day for the nation of France, that is for sure. But what about this Ground Zero lineup? I mean, they looked strong in Swiss, maybe not as strong. I know, Yummy, you're not going to compliment them, so this is more for CJ. Is there a reason why this Ground Zero lineup should have hope?
I think so, and weirdly, if you told me before the event started, Yummy, that Luna is the source of the hope, I would have said you're absolutely crazy. What on earth is happening? But they look more of a well-rounded team. They did get that win in Swiss over Power. It's kind of tainted a little bit by the fact that the rematch was heavily one-sided, though, Yummy.
And nobody talked about Fizz 6, so we may as well quickly mention them. You know, good on ya. Good on ya. Really? Good on ya.
You're talking about.
See you again, Tonio.
We swept them out of there yesterday, didn't we? See you later.
They'll be back. I think they'll be back. That team, they're going to be playing with.
But
the
you
chip
didn't
on
say
their
that
shoulder.
yesterday. You said they were like that kind of 5th round gatekeep team that may or may not make
they're going
it
to
through.
be in the 2 and 3. That's why they're going to be back. We're going to see them every Friday, last round of the day. They'll be competing to get in. I don't know. The team's going to play with like a chip on their shoulders. Clown Sandwich was very heated up. ZX9 is the kind of player to get heated up. I think they'll be playing angry next regional.
I feel that. I don't know. I think it's top 4, and then I guess it's a bit of hodgepodge. We're waiting to see who's going to step up. Gremlins are getting close. They were the closest yesterday. The only team to take one of the top 4 to Game 6, almost going the distance. But outside of that, yeah, maybe maybe I need to get on the HSP bandwagon, because it's all I could think about yesterday, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not even the team.
Join me.
I mean, it looks like Twitch chat right now, though, is kind of on either the KCP or the Power bandwagon. You can see the question down before in regards for the matches today. We are going to be opening with Power versus KCP. A lot of people would have expected to see this one in the finals, but being played in the semifinals right now, Yummy, it does make this one a little spooky.
Well, yeah, one of Power or Pioneers are out, so, you know, they're going to be in the back seat for the major. But I would also say maybe the way that Pioneers have been going, I'd say that they should be more confident to get a victory this split than the last. And a reminder maybe that Power were very much ahead of everybody else. Pioneers kind of in a more of the middle of the pack alongside your Chiefs, and well, nowadays maybe Kib Gang joins this split, so there'll be an interesting battle there too.
Thought for a moment that Fortress might have picked up Pioneers, but we've sorted that out. I don't know if there's a conflict of interest there if you're running the tournament or broadcasting it and having your team. There it is, Pioneers logo, all good. Yeah, first up there. Do we think Formal? Do you want to play first or second? Do you want the momentum going in, or you want a little break into the grand final?
I think you want to play second, don't you? I mean, how many times have we seen in the more double elim kind of gauntlet format, the team from that lower bracket comes through and starts to make that run? And I think playing off Yummy's point, that plays to that momentum. And I could see a team like Kib Gang, who I'm pretty sure... Are you still taking them to take this whole thing today, by the way, CJ? Are you still on that Kib Gang train?
I don't want to give it away. We'll see when we get into that second matchup which way I'm going. But all I do know is that I feel like this first event, I don't know if you agree with this, Yummy, but feels like anyone can win today. And I say that honestly. I'm not trying to be like, go against the grain of Power. But honestly, Power have probably looked the 3rd best team here so far, just on the eye test.
I have some doubts around Chiefs, I would say. But of course, nobody's really out. There's nobody in here that can't win, that doesn't have the firepower, the individual players. It's just that for the Chiefs, Finn and Kaka have historically been very much, especially Finn, being in that second place, that loser in the grand final, rather than being able to get it. So it would be a huge occasion for them.
And again, of course, all of the points in the playoff sort of implications when knowing that only 2 teams are going to be making it to the next major, and knowing that either, Power the Pioneers are going to be starting that step down. I think that makes that second series even more important for teams like the Chiefs and like the Kib Gang.
Yeah, look, 9,900, no more to pay if you can take out the first prize today, but 20 points, that's what the teams are really playing for. Everyone that's competing here in OCE and pretty much around the world, they're all playing for those major spots. They want to make international events. They want to do damage on the world stage. And Naomi, they want to make the big dance, the world champs.
A big boost, in terms of points too. First place last time was 16 points, so you can see that you can really overtake the first split points. I don't think anybody's going to be overtaking Power. They got so far ahead. But of course, if you were to go ahead and win all 3 events here, then you would most certainly do the best catching up, and maybe can get some even more points at the major, where again the points are higher.
Yeah, it's all about the points, the prize, a nice little cherry on top, but it be one of those 2 teams representing OCE. That's really what we're playing for, and if you could be that first OCE team to crack into the top 8, I don't want to keep harping on that as kind of that be-all, end-all goal, but I think you would go down, in this region's history if you can get to that point. Speaking of which, we're about 5 minutes roughly away from kickoff into our first game, so I think it's time we maybe start to take a deeper look into this first matchup. And in my eyes, the biggest story coming into this one, Yummy, should be Super Locky now back on the Pioneers.
I think he's, on paper, a massive upgrade. Super Locky at times on the Chiefs just completely did everything for that team. And on paper, what an incredible lineup. The question is, are they going to make it work today against a team like Power, who have really put teams on the back foot, have given them no time at all?
Yeah, they've gone undefeated so far. With Chiefs, the 2 undefeated teams in the Final 4. Power, however, they've lost 2 series already. The Swiss stage, as we said, the Friday, it wasn't quite what they wanted. They lost to Kib Gang on the other side of the semi-finals, and Ground Zero as well. So they have faltered twice before. There's certainly a strong case to make if you want to be on the Pioneers side, albeit formal, as you said, a new lineup.
Yeah, it's a new lineup. I think it's an exciting lineup. Super Locky back on the Pioneers. I'm sure got a lot of the fans of the organization, excited to see them back. And on paper, this team really should be one of the best, particularly mechanically. All 3 of them have kind of had those big pop out, like, oh my goodness moment. But the question is, will a team like Power, who wants to play aggressive, Yummy, even give them a space to show that off?
I think there's also another side of that, with Power playing so in your face and even in front of the ball so much. We haven't seen maybe the level of pop-off from Fever that we've seen in the past. So a major question is, can they still play this style where they're so in your face, but also have those moments, find themselves room for their star players to actually make goals out of nothing too? Or are they just going to stick to playing well as a team and hoping that's going to do enough?
Got to mention the coaches as well, obviously Jimmer and Mock, and when he gets these... No, you're right. Actually, we don't have to at all, but I'm going to mention the coaches. Let me change my terminology there. When you get into these best of 7s, it just feels like a completely different series. I remember back in the day, Gibbs saying, there's no need to play best of 7s because statistically best of 5s get the result. Forget about that. Best of 7, it's more of a war than just, this clash, and you can get the timeouts, you can adjust your strategies. It feels like you can really settle in. You get more time in the series to really figure out, I love that word, figure out the other team. And that's where the coaches come into play, Formal.
Yeah, I have to agree. And I think, I'm with you. We need to be shouting out the coaches a little bit more. I've always been raising the banner for coaches, and this is kind of Mock's first foray, it feels like, this year coaching a team at this level. So to see the Pioneers at this point, I'm very curious what a coach Mock would actually be like.
Look, I'm going to go the opposite way, and I'm going to say coaches are overrated. I mean, as an ex-coach myself, surely I know.
True.
Well, it's not like maybe it's a bit of self-reflection, but coaches make the little difference, and those, in Rocket League, it can be a game of inches. You can have a really close match, and that 5% can be what really matters.
So does that mean the gaming gamers were playing with a 15% boost?
Maybe too many cooks spoil the broth.
Yeah, I think there's a set amount of buff that you can get for a coach, and adding more just like splits the buff. It doesn't add more of an advantage. I think it's just, I'm not sure what they're doing. I love it though. I think
I think it's funny.
Add more. They've got 7 people on the roster. Let's get to 10 by the end of the split here.
Like if all of OCE gets on one roster, then we could all go to Worlds and have a party with them. But no, we gotta serious this up right now. Our game is moments away from starting. Let's take a look at the predictions here, because I imagine this is going to be pretty split. And of course, when it's split, it is Yummy who has to be the different one, has to be picking against the grain and going for power.
It's a really interesting one for me because I've been really backing this new Pioneers roster. But yesterday, you took the Pioneers right at the very end, so I was like, well, we've got to back power. There's no chance that nobody can back power. So I am quite split on this one, but you have to believe, you have to really respect power's last splits and maybe even disregard day 1 because day 2 was a different beast.
Yeah, look, I changed my pick at the last second. I had power, and there's really no reason to not pick against power, given that they're the first team to do the perfect split. They haven't lost a regional, a qualifier so far this season. But even just seeing Europe, seeing K-Corp for the first time, Vatira not make a Champ Sunday for the first time, it makes me think, hang on a minute, maybe it is a little bit of a changing of the tide. And Yummy, this gives me, this team, this Pioneers lineup, albeit we've only seen one series on the mainstream, it's giving me kind of Ground Zero Super Lucky vibes, coming out swinging perhaps with a new lineup. Do you feel that or not?
I think so. I mean, there's always been like a little bit of extra beef as well between all the members of the X4Kidden / Pioneers roster. None of them really split in the best possible way. They've moved between rosters as well in maybe some unexpected ways, and so they're always looking to get over the top of each other.
Well, here we go. First semi-final of the fourth qualifier. The first one of this new split, the second split, the final split here in OCE. And as we said, so much on the line. The first time we're able to see this new Pioneers lineup really fully tested against the best team currently in OCE.
It's also a massive test for the Power roster. Are they able to continue on as Fever continued on for maybe a little bit of his day 1 for missing that one?
What is happening? Even Torsos aside, surely not. This isn't going to... I thought this was a once-off when we saw Team Power just whiff 18 balls in a row, but early on, 2 whiffs in a matter of 20 seconds. Doesn't give you too much confidence, but it is game 1. It's very early.
The thing that does make me more worried than missing a ball and mechanically making a mistake is just how keen everybody's on the ball. Look at that. Fever, Banana Head, all that in there. In the last play, Fever was the one approaching the play on top of 2 of his teammates. And more than anybody else, Fever has historically kind of fixed a lot of rotations by being a more passive player, by willing to stay back and control the defense. And look at this, Pioneers get the first goal.
He was the band-aid for the Renegades, Yummy, but Pioneers are ripping it right off early here. Look at that, the bump on the backboard, securing the free shot. Torsos in net, could do nothing about that. And early on, Pioneers just looking more measured right now. As I said, a couple of mistakes for Team Power. And yeah, it hasn't been the most comfortable event. Even yesterday, Yummy, I came away from the series with Team Power thinking, okay, they're playing with some power again, some speed, some power. I don't know why I've said that. They're playing with some speed. The offense is back. But you put some doubt in my mind. You said you're not sure if it's sustainable. It looked a bit chaotic. It looked, not sustainable in terms of sort of offense and structure, especially when you're coming up against these sort of top teams.
It's exactly so. It just feels really risky and almost odd, and maybe even almost like how do you sort of what I'd tell a team who's the underdog to normally play it. Just stop thinking and do more than anything else. They're just constantly going for the ball no matter what. Like, it looks like Little League gameplay, playing soccer, and every single person's going for the ball every single time.
Yeah, just no positioning at all. And I love it when they are playing close, but there is that, it's a fine line you do walk when you can overcommit, double commit, especially when they lose a bit of trust and when they haven't had the best weekend. Things like this can happen. Torso so awkward on the line. He opts to just catch it with no boost. And Super Lucky, well, he's just got to 50 that one right through.
It was hugely boost advantage here. I mean, Amphis had more boost than the entire team of Power because they're all just jumping at Ghosts. And that's the 2-goal lead that comes out from Pioneers off of maybe more of what we saw day one, and maybe that over-aggression we saw unpunished on day 2.
Great start from Pioneers. You have to also dive into a bit of the mindset, the mentality for these two sides. Obviously, Team Power, they did what they were set out. You know, they had that goal. It was clear last split. They wanted to be the first team to have the perfect split. They wanted to be the clear best team in the region. They got that. They accomplished it. But now they've got to climb that mountain again, and there's a lot of hungry teams like Pioneers they've got to face.
Worked well because Banana Head won the 50, but if that didn't go Power's favour, they had sent all 3 members onto the opposing backboard. So risk pays off this time. Question will be, can that continue for Power as they need to still get one more goal without letting in any into their own net? And speaking of, a massive mistake.
Yeah, and they just lost the kickoff. Double commit on the first save. There's the beat, and Banana Head goes. He gets bumped. Torsos whiffs, and nothing that Power can do about that one. Just that again. I said it about 18 times with Morgie on Friday watching this Team Power. Uncharacteristic is just the only way I can describe, you know, the way they're playing. Just individual mistakes. A lot of it's not even their structural positioning. It's just, well, FIFA doesn't miss that. He doesn't cause another mistake defensively, but 4 goals on the board. Super lucky. He's going to get a hat trick 2 minutes to go in game number 1.
That's an insane flick from Fiber, managing to get that change direction, keep that ball high off what almost looked like nothing there. And yeah, 4 goals now for Pioneers. They've got this well and truly in the bag.
As a team as well, Team Power, such a hard team to score against last split, but already, you know, in a semi-final when you'd think they've warmed up into the tournament, 3 days now of play, and they've conceded 4 in game 1. How? Make
yuck.
that 5. Make that 5. Super lucky. Just doing a nice little pirouette in the air, and Fiber takes it off him. Another double commit from Team Power. Just throwing the kitchen sink, Yummy, for no reason at all. Wowee.
We'll give them some benefit of the doubt to say, yeah, they needed 3 goals in 1 minute and 40. But the thing is, that's how they've been playing for the entire game. Whether it's been 1 minute 40 and they've been 3 goals behind, or whether they've been 10 goals ahead in another game. So it's just so interesting to watch. It's a completely different Power, and it goes against all convention of what is good Rocket League, CJ. You know they have to spread out and cover at least some of the pitch, right?
Yeah, well, maybe we need to throw Jimmer under the spotlight. Is this the play style that they want to be playing? I know when they're at their best, Yummy, one of their biggest advantages, one of their biggest strengths last split, and that's just 6. Let's just keep talking about it. One of their biggest strengths last split was, you know, how they did sit close to each other. They were, you know, taking the ball off, almost like K-Corp do, their little air dribble bump pass plays, but I mean, it just feels like they've lost the synergy in a way, and then it just looks messy. All 3 on the ball at once, double committing, half committing, whiffing, and that trust goes away.
Yeah, you know, we still see a lot of that where you've got that front man on Power kind of making sure to jump past the ball, and the player behind knows that that's going to happen, but it almost feels like the opponents also know that the fake from in front is going to happen, and they're just willing to still play the ball more than anything else. So I don't know what they can really do to change at this point in time. If this is how they've been scrimming, you know, if you practice one way, it's so hard to adjust your complete play style on the fly.
Oh, nearly another one getting through as well. Are we going to get a Brazil in game number 1? That's the question. And And I think I mentioned it on the Friday. There was, compared to last split, you heard the rumours from Scrim results that no one could get close to Power. They were just dominating everybody. And then all of a sudden, it felt like every team was saying, Scrims are going really well, loving this new team, we're beating Power, we're doing this, we're doing that. And now I'm questioning, Yummy, whether it's these new teams stepping up or Power have just, lost their magic.
And for those in chat who are watching us and hearing us focus so much on Power, rather than talking about all the amazing things that KCP and Super Locky has brought, it's just because it's such a change in form and so different, especially in terms of playstyle and maybe over-aggression that we've not just seen from Power, but realistically any top team in OCE, that it is purely worth mentioning and trying to figure out what's going on in their heads.
Yeah, I mean, it's for us, you have the professional experience, coaching and whatnot, coming from a playing background. It's the eye test for a lot of it. And that's why, if it was still Power playing incredibly and, Pioneers just matching them, you think, oh my goodness, look at this gameplay. It's back and forth, the pace, the precision, the touches. Then I think we'd be talking about how impressive Pioneers are looking. But it's just because of these moments here, these defensive plays, these back-to-back, 3 double commits in a row, missing random whiffs, that we have to talk about Power because they've gone from having the perfect split, being the first ever OCE team to achieve that and looking phenomenal, nearly making the top 8 internationally, to looking like a team that I don't have any trust in really right now.
You even kind of mentioned the uncharacteristic individual mistakes coming out from Power, but I actually do feel that somewhat it comes from them as a team positionally. They're almost always looking to be as close to the ball as possible. And in multiple of those goals we saw in the replay, somebody's crept up on front post exactly where Jake would like them, and we know he retired for a reason. They need to start at least rotating a little bit wider, give each other some space just so they can cover a second option, because that's how we know Rocket League is played. It's not just about option A. You got to be covering what happens if somebody loses a 50 as well as if you win.
And there's another little mistake here, Banana Head. Just getting caught out of touch. And for Pioneers, I know that you and Formal Yummy were pretty bullish on how they were playing yesterday, looking phenomenal. We had some freestyle, mid-air pass plays, handoff goals as well, and credit to them. They've come up against a better quality side, the best side in Oceania, the best side that OCE, or one of the best we've ever seen in OCE. They're playing phenomenally so far, but this is better from Power. A nice little attack. Torsos gets bumped off the follow-up, but we are finally seeing some sustained offense from Team Power.
Much better from Power so far. They're not sending everybody all at once, and you see that in the fact that they all 3 rotated through. One of them moves back, and they have another chance here as Fever is the last one with any boost, so he's going to have to make a massive impact, and he does, but Torsos gets beaten to the punch by Fiber.
Yeah, really nice from Fiber. Just puts himself in the bottom of net to watch that follow up, and Torsos can't find an angle through. Banana Head to the sidewall. Super Locky keeping it in for Pioneers. Wouldn't they like the first goal again here in game number 2? Torsos with space. Oh, he's just been dusted, and Fiber, can he get a doomsday dish? He's kicked it out too far off the wall. He wanted to find Amphis. And the chance perhaps gone begging for Pioneers, but they still have boost, and Fever's just been beaten to the ball, and the bottom left corner is wide open for Fiber.
Very nicely done. Amphis takes that too far away from a boostless Banana Head. Everybody flying past, and Fiber does not get faked out. He sticks to his guns and gets the first goal again.
It's the little things as well, Yummy. The spacing there from Fiber was phenomenal. He saw Fever and thought, you know what? He's a little bit crept to be watching this infield. So he sat deeper, and Amphis recognised it as well with the pass. Threw it on, and a kickoff goal makes it 2.
Feed the beast is what I say, and Fiber is growling in the midfield. Another one just delivered. Silver platter, this time by Super Locky instead of Amphis.
It looked like this game, at least at the very start, might have been back on Power's terms, but so quickly as that changed. Another kickoff chance coming through, 50 by Fever. Land on the sidewall, beaten again, Amphis! Blocked out by Banana Head, could have been 3 in 2 minutes. There's more touches going. We're seeing demos come through, but Pioneers, for the most part, not too phased. Banana Head, all he can do is throw it forward with no boost. 51, and there it is again. You see that third man, Yummy, just crept up, and they can't keep that ball in.
It's still better than what we saw in game one. People are actually rotating off the ball from Power, but they're still quite aggressive, and they're still a little too pushed up, maybe disrespectful even, of what the Pioneers members are capable of. And that's the difference of the level of opposition compared to what Power had yesterday, in terms of nobody really getting or using the opportunities, using the space yesterday.
You can see the confidence as well of Pioneers. Fiverr going for pre-jumps to try and block pass plays. Even that pop there, so effective. Banana Head, he can't get it as high as he wanted. He's got low boost as well. And these 50s are just falling right into Pioneer's lap. It's Fever. Loses to 50 and just gets beaten out as well. Is it going to be a read? No, wide. Torsos, nice save. Give me a counter here for Team Power. What can Fever do? It's underneath. There's the bump. There's the air dribble. The ground pitch as well. But look how quickly Pioneers launching it down the other end.
Banana Head just doing what he can to slow down the attack with an extra touch. Super Locky's still looking to feed the beast, but ends up getting bumped away as really just a defensive play out from Power. Trying to get any touch they possibly can to throw off the defense, and now a massive demo. Torsos was there, and a goal on the board for Power.
There you go. It's a Team Power special. Just isolate that last man, and look at the pre-flip into the demo. Fever coming up huge on the offense, who, similar to last game, I feel like Power did get one back, and then Pioneers got 4 more. So let's see how they go here. Huge kickoff. It is one. Torsos with possession and boost. Flicks it to the moon. Can he get a bump as well? You know, Banana Head's going to be waiting. It's just a triple commit. They've just thrown the kitchen. Banana Head makes the save. Should have been a goal, Yummy. Pioneers missing an open net.
Late reaction on that shot. And certainly was left wide open by Power, sending 3 members forward. And unfortunately, maybe continuation of that pressure that they feel too early. I mean, they still have a full minute and a half at that point in time to score. They don't need to go so aggressive. And for players that experienced, shouldn't be caught out in those sort of situations.
Yeah, just remarkable. Like, again, another double commit. Torsos and Fever. It's so messy. It's ridiculous. Banana Head beaten. He's gone for the pre-jump. There's a miss coming through. Fever's caught the ball, taking it across, but he's going to find Super Lock with no boost. Passes it. Amphis last. 100 boost to work with. It's nice spacing from him. The demo won't pay too much. Oh, that's a great cut from Super Locky. That was dangerous there. Team Power pushing forward. There's a shot on Banana Head. There's no connection. And Locky's downfield with 100 boost. Chain dash misses the flick. Causes Fever to throw himself. Power with 12 seconds left. Can they get this ball forward? Torsos, he's got all the time in the world. He has a reset. He uses it. Is his follow-up? Fever? Wide. No, saved. It's a team save. 2 seconds left. Pioneers just need this one down for the 2-0. And the ball is still up just in the corner. Pioneers, well, they might have got away with one. Team Power, they turned into defense for them.
Torsos cracked open the net, but then he replaced the seal standing there right in front of the opening. And Pioneers go ahead and Power. They've called the timeout, and, you know, rightfully so. They've got to change something.
Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same team. I mean, if you just go side by side gameplay of what we've seen this event to any series in the last split, you'd be thinking, is this 2-year-old game? Like, you know, is this 2 years ago? Is this
even more? I feel like 4 or 5 years ago. It's almost like simple Rocket League, where the main goal is to be the first to the ball and nothing else.
Yeah, and they're double committing. They're absolutely everywhere. So credit to Pioneers. They're capitalising. They did miss that open net, which would have given them a pretty comfortable 3-1 win. Power had a crack late, and they're the ones they're scoring. But this time it's Fever shooting low right, Torsos landing in the middle and blocking the ball to the corner. And yeah, I'm apologies to Pioneers if we're not pumping them up too much. It's just surprising for me when, you know, we're looking at this Team Power, Yummy, as our saving grace going internationally, and now we're just witnessing, just not great gameplay at all from them.
And granted, Pioneers, you know, not assuming results maybe for the rest of the day go their way, we just don't know where they really currently lie at the moment. They could be by far the best OCE team we've ever had, but it's really hard to judge based on the series and how Power have been playing. We haven't seen them at their best just yet. But you do have to give Pioneers credit in their last game, because up against a team where you have 3 players essentially on the ball 24/7, always trying to be as close as you possibly can, it's really hard to find space. But Amphis was able to do it. Super Locky was able to do it. That's why they were able to get the passes into center. So they're playing fast enough to create their own space and smart enough to get the pass across to capitalize and get goals.
What I love as well is, as you said, they're utilizing the space. It's not just pass plays, but when they're looking for clears, it's always sort of to the other corner. It's away from that third man on Power. So they have to spend so much time getting over there, using boost to try and keep that ball in. And Pioneers, as you said, just really smart play. There's another 50. Huge dunk. Oh, follow-up Fever. Double commit again. Torsos throws himself. Now there's no boost for Team Power. It's a double from Amphis. Fever there to keep it in. The Pioneers keeping this pressure on. Amphis, no boost. Cuts rotation. Super Locky goes. He's been dusted. Just Banana Head there. Finds Torsos. That's better link-up play. The follow-up just perhaps wasn't quite what he wanted. That's a beautiful infield. Double commit now as Fiber works it out. Can he get the goal? Can he go himself? He's got a reset. He's got a double. It's just no one there in time. Fiber almost clipping on Power.
It was very reminiscent of the play that Torsos had made to open up the net that he ended up saving in the last one. Unfortunately, couldn't get the final touch there, Fiber, to make it a miracle goal. I will say, so far, we're seeing a few little patches of Power here in Game 1 that are looking good, and Fever will find it after Banana Head creates the chaos in the defense.
Yeah, first big mistake there for Pioneers, and you just see Banana Head pre-flip catching out Fibes, and Fever. It's an open net that he will never be missing. Is finally, Yummy, for the first time this series, we do get Power scoring first.
I also am kind of interested because, we've talked about how aggressive Power are being, as there is a potential shot on, and it's immediate goal off the kickoff. I was going to say, well, there's not too much to talk about with that. I was going to say, Power are playing very aggressively, but they're sort of doing it with all the players on the ball. Why can't they be playing aggressively by sending player in front of the ball, provide more aggressive and risky passing opportunities that could quickly turn into a goal, rather than kind of maybe playing on an individual level?
Hey, it's a great point. You look at last split as well, how they just send someone forward for a demo. Here's another touch. Fever is so awkward in net. Bumps are coming through. Banana Head able to walk that one out. Pioneers perhaps thinking there was more challenge on. That's a great shot back post. Even better save from Super Locky. Make it 2 saves. It's Banana Head is caught under it. There's Super Locky pushing downfield, doing what you want Power to perhaps to try and emulate for now.
And the advantage of him doing that too is that if the boost spawns, he steals it away from them. He's not just useless if they cannot find that clear. It's just about the decision making on when you can possibly do that, when you know that maybe your 2 teammates are going to be able to hold the defense no matter what. It can be hard to do under the pressure of a semi-final.
With a timeout as well for Team Power. It'll be interesting to see. That's a huge 50 win from Banana Head, not quite on target. Interesting to know what Jimmer would have said to them. I know that if I was the coach, Yummy, I probably would have yelled at them and said something like, "Spread out, boys! What are we doing?" Something like that. Just a bit more spacing required from Team Power. We are seeing a little bit more of that off the timeout, which has worked so far, but still a few mistakes where they just, they're losing a 50 for free. They're getting beaten for free with no follow-up, no teammate there to provide support.
We're starting to see as well KCB learning a couple of the tricks of Power and their backboard demo attempts that have been successful a couple of times throughout this series. We now see them avoiding that. Will be a counter-attack that comes out from Amphis too with a bump attempt. Fiber moving in front of the play to go for it.
I love that though. Look at them just staying on the ball. They're doing what Power did to every other team last split. It's being a nuisance. Provides space for Amphis with a 100 boost. Torsos' pre-jump. He's got low boost. He's just let the ball walk around in Banana Head. Double commit this time, Pioneers. They've thrown too much forward. Torsos, though, still with 0 boost. Able to grab that mid-100. Fiber with a huge flick. Banana Head trying to control it. All 3 of Power in the same spot. In defense. See if it works out for them. Super Lucky under it. Fever getting the beat downfield for Team Power as Pioneers.
Oy.
They have to dodge a few bumps coming through. As Power looking to sweep, but again, space found. Super Lucky working the ball down. Banana Head as well gets the challenge. Fever just throws it high. Can Torsos get a shot? Can he find something? He's got to drop it to Banana Head. Saved by Amphis. So poised on the goal line.
His KCP defense has been next level. They've had to avoid multiple bumps in defenses that look simple, but only because KCP have been able to deal with Torsos in particular and Banana Head gunning forward for early demos. Incredibly underrated skill to be able to do that and also continue with a good touch out. They've actually kept themselves well and truly alive, but now Torsos wants to get that go-ahead, looks for the aerial bump, but Super Lucky avoids that too.
Yeah, it just looked a little bit slow in the air there. He couldn't quite find the touch. Fibers found the outlet low. Downfield, it's almost a perfect first touch. Amphis grabs boost, pushes in as well. Super Lucky so deep, 3-on-1. Big trouble here for Pioneers. Shot on Lucky,
no.
Huge save. Torsos follow-up, even better from Fiber. Have they thrown everything here? Shot on net. Fever has to track back. Absolute chaos with 15 left.
Good thing that Fever went straight towards the net. He didn't have any boost. The temptation would have been to go for the corner, but it would have slowed him down. He's able to keep Power back on that tied game, and now 3 seconds left. Is there a chance that they can score in regulation? Looks unlikely. We go to overtime.
And this is a massive game here for Team Power. 2-0 down. They can't go 3-0. Don't want to have to reverse sweep this Pioneers lineup. Double demo coming through. Torsos takes it upstairs, gets bumped out of the way. Amphis just launches it forward. Fever catches and throws it downfield to Torsos. Double commit from Pioneers. The pressure's coming in. It's not looking great, but again, the scramble defense paying off. Another shot on. It's over Amphis. There's the follow. It's a terrible shot. And Power Pioneers counting their lucky stars at the moment, just keeping this ball out of their net.
They didn't have the boost, so if they weren't able to make that save, it was all over Red Rover. And Pioneers still looking to recover from that defensive stint. They managed to get a little extra room for themselves if Banana Head can capitalize. No, Super Lucky shuts it down.
Torsos with the clear, but he hasn't found a teammate. He's found Fiber. He has 0 boost, launches it forward. Banana Head. It's a fantastic catch from him. You know, he can get 18 resets on the ball on command. Torsos underneath him with the touch as Fever just hands the ball up for free. Banana Head has to go 0 boost. He's just whiffed. Torsos has to run the ball around. Again, a few nervy moments there for Team Power. Little offense the Pioneers have looked pretty good. Fever's take it up. Going to get one more again. Saved out. Torsos overcommits third man. And they've lost pressure again.
Almost pinched all the way back to his net, but the power was not there. Speaking of, Torsos runs out of boost on the way up, so met at the same time as Super Lucky. All 3 members of KCP caught in the back corner. Fever just needs a touch, but he gets beaten by Amphis.
Yeah, just a little bit slow there as the ball tracks across the back half for Team Power. Banana Head trying to run it down. Torsos looking for the big flick. He's found it with the dominus, but Locky's up, just so aggressive. Fever has to go, finds the touch across. Amphis stealing corner boost, finding a 50. It's Torsos, needs him there. 0 boost though, it's very low, it's very awkward for Team Power.
Ooh.
Banana Head's been goobered. Fever wants to turn in another double commit as Torsos is that link up downfield.
In this case, just the link out to keep it away from the KCP counterattack, to get that pressure away from their own net so they can secure those back boosts which have been stolen time and time again by KCP. Amphis looking towards another one. Banana Head has to work it out as Fever takes that back corner boost. Looks to touch it towards Torsos, who's now sent reeling. It's been turned against the ties. He doesn't have boost. Do the opponents? No. Banana Head gets gifted a little extra space here by Torsos, and that's all he needs. A full court rundown and a game on the board for Power.
That's the Power we know and love. Torsos pops it up. Banana Head just takes it straight off him. Reset into the dunk. Power take a huge game off the timeout.
What a setup that came out there. And Torsos, after being in a difficult position, turns the tides. And Banana Head, we know how good he can be in those full court air dribbles, how dangerous he can be with a little bit of control, and he had all of it in the world there. So Power, are they back? Is this good enough?
the spacing was better, wasn't it? The spacing was much better from Team Power. It still wasn't perfect. We saw some double commits, some interesting moments where Pioneers perhaps could have capitalised on, but much better. And particularly there, you saw it. Torsos was low boost, communicates it, just pops it up and finds his teammate in Banana Head. Pioneers now have a little bit to work on, as it's clear that Power are, improving as the best of 7 goes on.
Love to see it. Love to see Jimmer getting involved. We know how important coaches are.
Oh, wait a minute. You said they weren't.
Well, look, realistically, it's very likely a team effort. Banana Head's been very much known to be actually a really thinking man's player or thinking player when not in the game in particular. Really kind of analyzes a lot. Torsos, very veteran, and you probably have more experience with what Fever brings between games than anybody else.
Yeah, he can be that leader that you want. He's certainly composed on the pitch, and that's what you rely on. For a lot of the weekend, we haven't quite seen that normal Thieves, but for now, it's been nice and solid from him. He's been getting some quality touches, particularly in defense, which is huge when he does play that third man role. Team Power, the nice win. Now they've got to try and tie this series up in Game 4.
Danger's still not over. Still can't really afford to lose this game, and that's the perfect start for Power. Banana Head circling around, finds the demo, and the pass across is good enough.
Yeah, as soon as Super Lucky got cleared out, Amphis probably thought, oh, gee, I wish I didn't jump at that one. He gets found out there. Open net. Clean-up crew comes through as well for Banana Head. Torsos with the assist. Probably should have had the goal as well. It's much better from Team Power. As you said, Yummy, they're pushing forward now, but they're not just climbing all over each other. They're looking for the demos. They're looking to be useful.
I do like that you see, as you said, somebody moving forward without just looking towards the ball. Off the ball play is one of the best things that EU in particular do that have left other teams in the dust until very recently. I do have to quickly ask you as well, after EU last night, does this mean that Vatira's out of the GOAT discussion?
Well, he's now, I believe it's 26 championship Sundays in a row or something.
If he was 27, I'd call him the GOAT, but
That doesn't sound right. Maybe it was 12. 26 sounds like a lot. Have we had in that many regionals? It's something like that.
It was 9 a year, right?
It was 26. There you go. That is insane. 26 top fours in a row for Vatira broken. So, you know what? Yeah, as far as we're concerned, he's not even in the discussion. Get rid of him. Yeah. We don't want to see him there. And
26, like if you want to do 3 seasons in a row, nine events a season in the past seasons, that's where you get the 27. That's why it really counts.
Yeah, look, his legacy has been completely tainted as far as I'm concerned, so he'll be disappointed with that one. As, Team Power, they've made a few Champ Sundays in a row. When's the last time they lost? I know there's a couple of quarterfinals, early first split sort of things, but I guess it depends what lineup you look at and which player.
Also, until this event, they hadn't lost a single series this year, so that's been a major, unfortunate turnaround for them. But we do know Power have been very good at certain points in time at, not making it into the top 4 and whatnot, so probably don't have anywhere near the similar record.
Yeah, it's a nice bump as well. It's great pressure here from from Pioneers ever since they conceded that first goal. Ceiling touch Amphis doesn't have any boost, but it's much better defense from Team Power. There's less double commits, and they're really looking to help each other out. They're recognizing when the bumps are coming through. They're recognizing who's the most dangerous player for Pioneers at any point in time, and this could be another goal on the board. Reset, just didn't get any power off it, but much better from this blue side.
I'm still waiting for Fever to have that pop-off moment. Again, talked about this yesterday. If he can really figure out what they're doing with this new playstyle to give himself a little space to make plays, then all of a sudden he could single-handedly turn the game around, and just as we say it, he finds the roof pinch down to Torse.
They've done this so often, and it's just the pre-jump on the air dribble. Pioneers, in previously the first 2 games, Yummy, instead of those plays there, they're looking for the pass. They're going to the sidewall and finding someone downfield. Now, I'm not sure if it's because Power changing it up or they're getting confident in their own mechanics, but they're resorting to these solo plays. Team Power, they're just biting them off. They're pre-jumping, they're getting the touches and turning them into counterattacks.
Well, the thing as well, previously in the series and even in previous days, it felt like two of them would have pre-jumped, and then that would have been it. Once that paid off, there would have been nobody forward waiting to receive it, finish off that goal, because they were all committed to the ball. So now they're starting to spread out and provide different options to each other.
Huge clear downfield from Fever. Now it feels like really the ball's in Pioneer's court. They haven't been challenged at all in the first couple of games, but now it's starting to look a little bit worrying. That's really nice from Fiber down to Super Lucky. Banana Head, no boost, catches the corner, but a great save from him. Amphis pops it up, doesn't get the bump on Fever. Torsos goes. That time it was a necessary double commit. It works out there for Power.
Going to be 1 minute here for Pioneers. Get themselves back into this game. Otherwise, the series will be drawn level. Looks like Pioneers were simply going to run away with the entire thing. They could have even done so with that Game 3 overtime. Must score right now as Amphis just pops it up, and Torsos was there waiting. Fever even providing a passing opportunity upfield.
And look how good that link-up play was. That just wasn't present in the previous couple of games, or the first two games at least. Now we are seeing it. They're outpacing Pioneers to the ball. They're not ready for these little mini pass plays. The pass into the pop-up, and certainly worked here. 20 seconds left. They have to go Pioneers. Has to be a goal right now, but Fever's going to be able to clear that one to the side. And now it's just killing time off the clock with every time they work the ball downfield. Every second ticked off means a Game 4 win and a tied series for Power. This has been very impressive since the timeout. You said coaches weren't useful, Yummy. Clearly Jimmer did something, because this is completely different.
Hey, you can say it's Jimmer. I say it's a full team effort. But no one can deny how successful Jimmer has been throughout OCE history. He's pretty much coached every team he's wanted to over the Worlds. And, well, this team already pretty much secured for Worlds.
And this team looking, well, I don't want to say secured for the series, but I want to see a timeout now for Pioneers, because, yep, there it is. Timeout Pioneers. As soon as we thought it should happen, it does. 2-2 now. They've tied the series up. I nearly would have called it after Game 3, just because there was a clear little change-up in gameplay, Yummy, but they do get it here, and a chance for them to respond with their playstyle structural change.
I think Game 3, was an overtime. They would have probably expected that they could have won that one, but this was a clear sign that things have changed, that Power have figured out their rotation more than anything else. Still a couple of moments that just seem really odd now, just in the defensive end from Power in terms of sending two people at the ball. But sometimes committing two people is fine. It's better than committing zero.
Yeah, but only 4 shots there for Pioneers, which is really concerning to the 11 on Team Power. And I think that's the midfield game. Power is so dominant in the midfield there. And it came from as good as Team Power did at those pre-jumps, stopping those solo plays. Pioneers just weren't awake to it. They had so many members, Team Power, in the midfield ready to block those air dribbles with 100 boost. It was Torsos, it was Fever, and a follow-up ready after that for the challenge, that Pioneers had to start using the walls. As I said, they weren't really passing the ball at all in that game. And you're just not going to be able to work the ball downfield, and that's the reason they only had 4 shots.
Once again, back to an area where we've talked about most of Power's opponents. All of a sudden they feel like they don't have the space anymore like they were building in those first couple of games, and it's really surprising to me. You've got somebody like Fiber who likes to stay further back. He almost gets default space in his own right, but we also aren't seeing them go for the demos up front. Not quite doing as much off the ball as I'd like to see.
Well, let's see if we get some more demos and pass plays. It seems pretty simple for me. I think the main point for mine is that midfield and the fact that those solo plays just are not working. And you mentioned Fiber being that third man. Every time I think of solo plays, Yummy, I think of Dire Wolves back in the day. Just being that side that just wants to all sit in net and go for air dribbles 1v3. That is not the way to beat Power. And look at this early aggression again. Super Lucky gets a great read. Hang on a minute. Might work out down the other end. Can he run it through? He might need a pre-flip shot. Banana Head gets the save off the post.
He just needed 12 more in the tank after that landing to catch up with the ball and get a shot on before the defender could get back. But Power...
Oh!
Whoa, there's a huge miss! And it's a goal! Oh, the woes come back.
Oh, just when you think, Yummy, just when you think, okay, order has been restored, that happens. And that has summed up Power's weekend. This is why I struggle to trust them. There's just these moments that, hang on, what? Oh, they almost sniped the kickoff. That was the read as well on the double cheat up. The bottom right corner is open if he finds it. Fiver still gets a reset, almost gets the shot. There's still pressure here for Team Power. It's also in net. Super lucky with the free double if you can wedge it in, almost follow up again. This is much better from Pioneers. But as I said, Yummy, these moments from Power are just, it leaves you scratching your head.
My head's starting to go bold. A little bit like formal, so better stop doing that too much, CJ. I don't know. When you're watching OCE sometimes and watching Power throughout this weekend, we've been left scratching too often. We know, though, that they can come back, that this 1-goal deficit is never really a big problem for them. They have the aggression as well in order to be able to take a quick turnaround.
Far better in the midfield, but now this is where everyone should be looking at Team Power. They've been a bit rattled by that first goal, and when they have conceded the first one, they have really fallen apart in their game. So let's see now if they can reset themselves, or we do see similar gameplay to Game 1, where they start double committing, they stop trusting each other, and it gets a little bit chaotic. This would be a great test for how poised they can be as an experienced team, having that first split under their belt.
Also, I'd love to see what Pioneers would look like if they had the confidence of a big win, of a regional under their belt too. Super Lockie, the MVP of last season, made every single grand final, had his first win in that season too, and kind of cascaded that into multiple. So will they be able to dethrone and turn it around, or how are they able to reclaim their throne of last split by winning this game and the next?
So far, Fever having to back right off, and another chance here for Pioneers. It has landed on Fiver, who's going to take the 50. Amphis, let's get beaten to the ball by Fever. Banana head up, has Torsos across. 50 comes through. Torsos with the beat. Amphis just has to buy time. That's so smart from him. Just to wait on that, and Banana head has to back off. All because of Amphis just taking that extra second. Fiber underneath. 0 boost. Gonna hit it to the side. Grab that corner. Again, more smart play coming through from Pioneers.
He achieved so much with so little there, Fiber. Used all of his boost in the earlier defense, and then manages just keep the ball away from Power members so they can't really get a control of it. He can use that extra time to steal the boost away as well. Fiber showing how clever he can be. Once again, 0 boost. What will he be able to do with it? He gets the 100 and tries to go for the flick. Maybe an extra touch. No, he actually went for the bump instead, and Fever avoided it.
And even Fever there, though, falling off the wall on that wall dash, which is just usually their automatic for him. Amphis with a huge beat. Again, it's crept up. Power, shot on net, and you see it there. They just fall apart structurally. And Pioneers, how clinical was that?
A momentary lapse of judgment. Torsos gunning forward right to where Fever's position, and KCP notice immediately strike, and Fiber always rings true.
It's always, it's great to be positioned aggressively, Yummy, but as soon as you get your boost taken and, both your players are low, all of a sudden that tight positioning comes under fire, and it did there again. They both backed off straight away. They knew as soon as that ball was in the air, neither were going to be able to reach it. They've overcommitted again here as Banana head. It's a nice read. Super Locker, though. There's the pass play. It's to Amphis. So dangerous in this spot. He does have a reset. He's bumped everyone. Fiber wants in. Torsos there. Dunked across. It's Fever who jumps, and if that shot was on, it would have been a goal. It's still trouble here for Team Power.
60 seconds left, and KCP are keeping them pinned in their own half, not where they want to be. Amphis even making Fever jump when he wanted to go for the clear, keeping them in awkward positions, and Super Lucky went for more of a ground pinch or ground shot that just goes a little too high.
This region's crazy. This series has been crazy. I mean, this just feels like Game 1 and Game 2. I don't know what happened in the other two, but it's certainly back to this again, and there's another overcommit. It is a missed open net. Is the follow-up going to come through? You betcha. 3 goals. Power revert back to their original selves, and Pioneers answer off the timeout.
More than anything else, it almost just feels weird that, like, they're panicking whenever they're behind. You know, the first 2 games, the major factor was Pioneers got the first goal, and then it just cascaded from there. Third game, when it was turned around, you know, Power got that first goal. It went to an overtime. It was you know, even keel for most of it. They didn't panic, but as soon as they're behind, they're just sending everybody forward once again.
And I don't want to sound like a prophet, Yummy, but, you know, since that first goal, I question, you know, are we going to see that different Power now? Are we going to see the overcommits? And that's what we got. We got that game 1 and game 2 Power that really just gave up. Yep.
You're an absolute genius.
Thank you. Again, Rocket League's 95% mindset, I reckon. And the 5%, the other 5%, I don't have, which is mechanics. But, yeah, I think...
Brilliant mindset got you to Worlds, you know?
Just brilliant mindset. Just the mentality. It's everything. But, yeah, as soon as that first goal went in, you know, obviously it was a big mistake from Torsos, whiffing that touch, third man with 0 boost. And then after that, they kind of just went, righto, guys, every man for themselves. Let's see if we can get ourselves out of this one, rather than going back to what's worked in the previous couple of games.
Are they playing ranked, or, like, what's going on?
I don't think
they gain MMR if they win these games, you know?
Yeah, it's, yeah, again, it's
Maybe we should take some MMR away if you lose an RLCS match.
Do you reckon? Maybe a bit of added incentive, perhaps. But credit to Pioneers off the timeout. You know, getting that first goal seems like it's a win condition in this series. So all eyes on this first kickoff, Yummy. Talk our way through it.
We head towards game number 6. KCP on the precipice of a grand final, over the top of the unbeatable Power. That title will no longer exist if this game goes the other way. Power looking to hold on to their chances to go back to the major. Emphas misses right off the start. That could have sealed the deal.
Oh, they gave him a freebie. There's still more. They're still winning these challenges. Emphas pass across, super lucky there, blocked out. Pioneers, ever since his kickoff that they did win, have had so much pressure and probably should have had a goal. But Power, they work their way out. Good sides do. Can they make the most of it? Emphas, though, with a huge beat. There's only one left. It's Banana Head. Super lucky win as well. Getting very aggressive, Pioneers. A lot of confidence gained from that last win. And they want to end it here in Game 6.
They have an extra game in the bag, so they know that they can afford to take a few risks and still have the opportunity to win afterwards. Look at that from Emphas. Speaking of risk, Super Lucky was there, but he couldn't get to it fast enough and sends it high. They have to scramble back, Pioneers. You can't commit that hard and not expect the counter-attack to happen.
That would have been absolutely ridiculous. 5 still has to come up huge, and he cannot do it. Banana Head so quick. That demo so smart from Fever. Look at this. He leaves the ball and just gets 2 on the way through. Fiber trying to rotate back, but Fever, so smart from him.
Banana Head, really good timing on the jump too. He gets the first touch against the backboard, immediately knows that he's about to get bumped, so avoids it, gets the follow-up before the defense can set themselves. What a demo from FIFA on the backboard there.
I like this aggression. Banana Head trying to find a shot. Torsos trying to pinch it across. But again, if the rest of the games are anything to go by, Yummy, this is going to be, we're onwards to Game 7. Power getting the first goal. Might be able to lock this one in, but again, it's OCE. Anything is possible. Pioneers still with 3.5 minutes to work themselves back into this one.
Still been good play style as well coming out from Power. Good signs that this 1 goal lead is what makes the difference, that comfort is what makes the difference for them. And they do not panic by being behind. Look at that, Banana Head looking for more demos. Fever manages to just keep the ball out of the clutches of KCP. Now some space for Emphas. Times the boost perfectly, but he's just going to go for the long drive. Banana Head was ready with a pre-jump.
Double commit from Pioneers. They licked their lips on that 50-50, but wasn't to be. Torsos with a nice read. Now Emphas with space again. Now this is a lot different from Power. They are backing right off here. Happy to play some defense for now. First time they can get out. Torsos gets a nice touch, but Fiber respects it. Banana Head underneath, been demoed. Fever's thrown it straight to Lockie. He's got 100 boost. Torsos has thrown himself third man. Said, I am not going to try and risk being last for a while. Gets a nice challenge in midfield, just soaks up a bit of pressure.
May have seen that Banana Head got the 2 demos, so could take that extra chance to go up for the ball, knowing that if when behind him there was nobody there to capitalize. Super Lucky gets in the rotation on the way back and gets in the way. Almost created an opening there for Power for a 2-goal lead, but still going to be Super Lucky once again. Looks like KCP kind of backing off to that slower game plan, looking for solo plays out of defense thus far.
Yeah, Power happy to back right off as well. This is very interesting. It's going to make for a quality last couple of minutes here as Banana Head. Not the best touch that he wanted, but gets a nice 50. Fever low boost. Keeps it close in the back corner as, again, look how much space Pioneers are getting in this back line, but they're not finding a way over the top. Banana Head, that's great control from him. Amphis has to back off. Torsos, 0 boost, but looking for demos. I think he needs a bit more to try and get supersonic speed. Banana Head drops it down, finds his teammate in Fever. Very nice here from Team Power. It's measured, it's controlled. They're doing well to kill time off the clock.
Oh, this should be a goal as well. Awkward positioning for Fiber, stuck on the backboard, not sure whether to jump down, and such a good 50 from Banana Head. It goes feeding straight out to Fever.
Yeah, so awkward from Fiber, and as you said, they backed right off, and that means they can get stuck like there as Fiber just on the backboard with, he's in no man's land really, facing backwards. A double fake kickoff comes through. Is effective. Everyone on Team Power scooping up some boost, as that could be another goal. It is wide. Banana Head had a chance to get a shot. Minute left. Pioneers have to go. There's the pass across. Super Lucky fires. Super Lucky miss. With the save coming through. Team Power just hanging on. It's been a workmanlike game since that first goal.
It was the first real passing play that came out from KCP for a long time. Torsos had to use the post there. It's a little dicey, but manages to get a little ball out of defense with 50 seconds remaining. That could have been a difference maker.
You said it perfectly. They've gone away from their pass plays. They went back into their shell. Solo plays. You know, I want to bring up Direwolves again from back in the day, but it is what it feels like. It's a lot of 1v3.
It's exactly because Power going back into a more defensive style, all of a sudden they feel like they have more room, and it seems like, similar to what Gus was saying, that they have the tendency to want to go for the solo play every single time. But if you have room, then pass plays also become way more valuable, and they've forgotten that.
It's been such a back and forth game. Pioneers might be able to get one back. A terrible bounce comes through. And that is going to mean Champions Field is upon us, ladies and gents. It has been one of the most back and forth series. The individual games haven't really been close. It's just about score first and win.
Haven't had a Game 7 yet. Now that broadcasts are back, we didn't have any of them yesterday, and we get delivery from the top 2 teams of last split immediately. Many people would have argued that this should be the grand final, but in order for that to have happened, well, Power would have had to not go 2-3 in the 3-2 in the qualifiers.
Yeah, it could definitely be the top 2 teams, but we'll have to wait for a couple more qualifiers to work out if that is the case. For now, we do get a Game 7. It was 2-0 to Pioneers, 2-2, and then game for game. After that, those timeout buffs working for both sides. Power wrestling back control, and so far, handling the pressure.
Done well. Power have consistently sort of figured their play style out throughout the series, and it still just comes almost to a question of, can you just get that first goal on the board? It's completely different from Power depending on their situation in the game.
So we're just trying to set up the correct mappage here, as Champions Field has not been found, but we'll find it. We'll find it in the selection there in the maps and get that one underway very shortly. Yummy. Game 7 upon us, and I spoke about it before. It's only the first event here in this split, but we will look back at this Game 7 and say that this could be the difference between one of these teams going to London or not.
The difference between a potential first and third is massive. In OCE and any region that has only 1 or 2 slots, in a really hyper competitive where you've got maybe a few top teams and then a big gap between the rest, 2 placements can certainly decide your entire split. Now, coming third is not also a disaster. So many teams make it up at the next time by winning, They weren't able to do that last split. Nobody could beat Power. But yeah, as you said, this could be the decider for the major.
Yeah, it feels like you get to this point now, we get to the semi-final, and you kind of feel like, right, we've done enough. We'll have to do a little bit more at some point, but for now, we've done enough. But right now, what a perfect opportunity for either of these sides. 5 minutes away from the first grand final of the second split here in OCE. Who will get the job done? It's been a fully back and forth affair. All I know is you score first, you win. But it is Champ Field. Some crazy things happen here.
Game 7. We've experienced some of the highest highs on this field, most notably in London, where this second major is going to be held. Will they be able to make another historic moment today? And who will be on the best side of that historical moment?
Yeah, and I'm just looking for the eye test early. Who's looking to push forward? Who's looking to play the passing game? Another double commit coming through from Pioneers. That's a huge 50 from Fiber. No boost to get there. Drop down. Banana Head finds a teammate. That's better from Team Power. I love this early. Fever with a beautiful shot off the corner. 12, goodness me, 31 seconds in. And this man just might be born for Champion Field. Bang!
All it takes is one quick win on the race to that ball. And once he's hit it off the corner, you just get that feeling that Fever on Champs Field, Game 7, he's going to hit those angles.
They've well and truly powered up. And could they just run away with this one off that first goal? Can Pioneers compose themselves? There's so much pressure coming through. Almost another shot for Banana Head. There's the clear. Pioneers trying to push forward. They've overcommitted a touch here, Power. Lockie trying to find the pass. Banana Head, nice clear. Amphis. Oh, goodness. Fiber's accidentally pushed it onto his own backboard. There's enough boost to get his way out of it. Might have forced a challenge through as well, but this is all Team Power to start with here. This might be a nice pass. Torsos gets it. Fiber with the touch as well. He only finds Banana Head.
You think to Super Lockie and his Game 7 history, he might have already running through his mind the echoes of not just the past split, but maybe even past experiences where he's missed out on the major because of losing a Game 7 last season under the Chiefs, losing fortunately to the Gremlins, and that was the decider towards them making the major. He needs to break that curse today.
Yeah, they look angry here, Power. They look like they're on a mission, as this is awkward for Fever, having to play that third man role. Does look comfortable. Fiber trying to control this one. Has Banana Head, who just grabs his boost. He's not even worried about the ball at all. Fiber does well to get a touch on it. Throws it downfield, but there's no one there. The demos are coming through from Team Power. Banana Head with 100 boost, just pushing that ball forward. Again, 2 minutes gone now since that first goal. And this feels like Game 6 all over again, Yummy. They're pushing forward. They're not worried about conceding. They're just worried about killing time off the clock, keeping it out of their end.
And so many times we're seeing the advantage as Amphis gets bumped out of the way. Fiber has to commit at the same time. Low boost left for the KCP members, but same with the Power attack. They don't mind because they'll just happily take you away from the ball and make it awkward. They can't even get out. They're still stuck in the defense, and Power finds the second goal halfway through the game.
Man, they might just be way too composed. The experience shining through. Torsos just beats out Super Lockie, third man, who tried to work it around him. Banana Head with the open net. 2-0 lead, half a game left.
They kept tightening the clamp over and over again. KCP unable to get out as the fake kickoff happens, but both teams go for that fake. They don't get any advantage, each of them. And 2 minutes 20 remaining. What can Pioneers do here to keep their, not just grand final hopes alive, but they're split in a good position? This one goes high.
It's a nice clear downfield again. These link-up plays have been so good from Team Power. Really come into their element. And you just see the panic setting in for Pioneers. There's still a lot of time left, but it's so easy knowing that you have to get two to start making so many mistakes like this. And Banana Head is just growing with confidence. And Fever is looking like the sniper. Reset, save just. Power still in there. Banana Head tries to get a reset himself. He's found Fever. It's a double kill from Power. That's so aggressive. Banana Head, 3-zip.
Relentless assault coming out from Power again. Banana Head stays forward to crush it in, but all three members of Power are up there, making sure to get touch after touch. And Pioneers at any point in time, it always feels like they're 1v3 in the defense.
This is all but over here. 90 seconds left. We've probably seen the inexperience, the new roster here at Pioneers. Are they able to handle the change-up? That's what I said at the start of the pre-show, Yummy. The game sevens. This is what they do. It's an absolute. It's a war. You have to change it up. There's bumps, but again, a save. It's Fever. He's that third man specialist. It's Banana Head. It's Fever. It's Torsos. It's all of them in net.
They've done so well there, and that's got to be the decider. A minute remaining. Pioneers had their only one chance. 4 minutes into the game, and they still not able to get on the board. What a redirect, but not on target from Amphis, and touched away by Fever. 50 seconds left. Power. Maybe this is all the confidence they needed to regain themselves back into this event.
Oh, nearly another goal. I mean, it's a nice save, but they need to find a counter-attack. Fever just looking so composed here, making these beautiful challenges. Just buying enough time. Torsos is up. The speed has changed right now. And Torsos, can he join the party? Oh, you betcha. It's 4 goals on the board. It's an absolute demolition job on Champions Field.
He's the GOAT of OCE, and this is what he has done for 7 long years. A backboard angle to seal the deal when the pressure is high and when the majors are on the line. 4-0. It is done and dusted. Power cannot lose from this position.
And they just don't want to concede at all here. I mean, boy, oh boy, you look at Pioneers now, Yummy. What a missed opportunity. 2-0 up in the series, almost going 3-0 up. Losing in overtime, game 3. They could have nearly had that series under wraps. It just goes to show how crucial each and every game is here in this best of 7. There's nearly another one. Torsos can't quite find it. But it's going to be Power's day so far. They're the first team through to the grand final here in Open Qualifier number 4. And Pioneers, well, they'll be going home.
The undefeated stay undefeated in the playoffs after what has been a very scratchy event so far from Power. But you know that they have the class and they have figured themselves out throughout this series. Formal, a Power back.
It looks like they came back about halfway through that series, particularly after the timeout. But yes, it did look like they did finally come back, cutting down on a lot of the unforced errors, a lot of that sloppy play, which the Pioneers, to their credit, I feel like we're looking for and did a great job early on punishing every single time. I mean, it was when we saw the Pioneers starting to force maybe some of the team plays where they didn't look as comfortable, but realistically, the entire series storyline, it was Power from the start. It was Power wasn't connecting, Power wasn't playing well. Power is now connecting, Power is now playing well, and as soon as they forced the Pioneers into their game plan, that's kind of when they won their way.
I mean, it felt like last split, Yummy, and this is the thing with Power. You know, I predicted Pioneers just going off how they were playing this event, but when Power do play like that, again, it's rinse but repeat of last split. There is not a team that has an answer for that kind of style. When they are all on song, no one can touch them. Pioneers did not get close to them in that last game when it was peak Power.
Yeah, just as soon as they get the first goal, once they get ahead, they're unstoppable. So which is crazy to say that you just can't let them get ahead. You have to get on top of them right from the very beginning. And speaking of getting on top of you guys, why are you guys predicting Pioneers? I was confident in my Power pick the entire way. Never
that
doubted
is so
it
not
whatsoever.
true. That is so not true. Look, they stepped up when it mattered. They started incredibly slow. I think for the first half, it was a podcast on what has happened to Power. But after that, Yummy, you know, you called it. You were looking for Fever to stand up. He was enormous. That first goal in Game 7. Then defensively, I thought Banana Head looked back to his chaotic self. And then Torsos, well, he got confidence from those two, and then you saw him chipping in late as well in that game number 7. So, you know, it only sometimes takes that one play, that one person to turn the whole team around.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you're calling out Fever, because, yeah, Fever was their Game 7, but I want to go back to Banana Head Game 3 and 4. Remember how Game 3 ended? It was the Banana Head solo play across the entire pitch, and I feel like that's just been something that Banana Head has always done. Whenever his teams are kind of like down and in that sketchy place, Banana Head has so frequently been a catalyst to bring them back out. So I'm kind of happy to see that is still playing out even now on this Power lineup.
And Banana Head is potentially the best player at times for this roster, but you can always see none of them stepping up. Torsos has had some of the most brilliant performances in the past, and we know that Fever can bring it all. That's why they're a scary team in OCE.
Goodness me. I mean, at first sight through, and I don't know. I think my predictions might be blown up now because I think I was kind of confident in where I was going.
Stick to your guns.
Well,
stick to your guns. You were right all along. Yummy got lucky. Yummy got bailed out. All right?
Formal, you were predicting Pioneers to win the entire thing. So
yeah,
are you going to stick to your guns and predict Pioneers in the grand final?
Oh, big safe pick, Power. You know they're going to win again. They might win it all again. Look, we have to go to a break. Right now, when we come back, we're going to have an interview as well as our second semifinal match. So do stick around. Championship Sunday will return.
And welcome back. Yes. We're ready for the second semi-final, but before we do get to that one, we will have a cheeky interview that is ever so slightly delayed for obvious reasons. There's Billy. Interviewing Billy. Let's go. How we doing there, Fever?
Oh, emotions went up and down that series, but nonetheless, it was scrappy, but we're happy to take the win in the end.
What's going on?
Yeah, what the heck's going on? No,
let
me take this. Fever.
Yeah, okay, what's going on?
Feves. This weekend, what the heck's going on with the boys? Outside of, after game 2, we can talk about that. But what's going on? They feel like this isn't the power of last split.
Usually, I'm not someone to throw a player under the bus. Obviously, we all played bad, but one of us didn't get any sleep, and I think that really just hampered the kind of fundamentals of our rotation. And because we have a risky playstyle and a fast playstyle, but if something's kind of off, it can kind of ruin the mojo. But I think Friday we're just kind of looking to get to the playoffs, and we were lucky to get, I think, 6th seed to have a ground zero matchup that, let's reset, let's just play our game. And I think it's executed. I think we still have a lot of things to take back to the drawing board, but nonetheless, we're really happy to take down ground zero, and I think, in my opinion, put Pioneers in their place.
I mean, that was obviously a fantastic win, and I guess at the start of the series too, it looked like maybe some of the jitters from Friday were still there. It took a couple games for you guys to warm up. Is that the same thing, just not sleeping at all this weekend, or was it a case of, just a slow start on the day?
Yeah, I guess in the build-up, or like the lead-up to this weekend, we've kind of had a slow start in scrims. Scrim results aren't everything, but to us, we really take things seriously. We try to win, the best of 7, try and treat it as serious as we can, and we've kind of noticed that we've been a bit slow starting, and I think it did show in that series, and we kind of got 6-1, I think, the first game, and we're like, okay, boys, let's reset again. But we have a lot of things that we're definitely going to take back and just have a look at, because I don't think we're quite at our form yet, the expected form that we want to really play again this split, but we're looking forward to the grand final. We're looking forward, I think, more to the next regionals to come, because I think you'll see a better power.
Excellent. Well, I wanted to kind of ask, because you just came back from the major, essentially, a pretty solid performance with a win over Rule 1, but, we're looking for that top 8, and I'm sure you are too. So what have you made? What changes are you thinking you made, or what have you learnt from that major? And are you actually trying to implement that in OCE, or are you keeping them like international OCE as totally separate ideas?
It's been a discussion. I think the takeaway for us, we'll just say first, holy hell, everyone is leveled up in gameplay. Individually, everyone's on another level, and I think that was the first lane where anyone in the top 8 could have won. And I think, considering we've had a 9-month break, I think we did pretty good. But we know the expectations going into the next major, maybe even Worlds. And we do have a few ideas of what we can do to change, because I think the ultimate thing that did kill us that major is overcommitting, overextending. So I think we're definitely going to take it back to the drawing board. I think we're putting a pin in it for now. I think we're just really focused on, getting through OCE, and as soon as we know, hopefully, when we go to the major, I think we'll start working on things, even if it's in maybe another regional.
So you got through that series. Now looking into the grand final, are you guys kind of like, righto, we found it, let's do it? Or is it going to be another kind of, let's start again and then see how we're going in the series to get going?
I think Pioneers, they're definitely a stress test. And I think every team in the top 4 now is really leveled up with the roster moves. And I think we're just going to take it. Whoever we're versing, we'll verse, and we'll try and take down. And I think we will take down. But I think I'm not sure who I would want to verse. Realistically, I think the team's confident in whoever we verse, and I think we'll take it today.
Do you think Pioneers are your toughest opponents on the way to winning a regional, or is there somebody else who's been doing really well in scrims, or is there something you've noticed?
I think I just got to give credit to the Chiefs and Kib Gang. I think Pioneers are our toughest. They're definitely our rivals. But Chiefs and Kib Gang are definitely up there in scrim performance, and I think so far from what we've seen, they're starting to perform how they do in scrims on a game day. So it'll be tough, but
excellent.
We'll get
well,
through.
Thanks for that, Fever. Congratulations again. We'll give you some time for the get ready for the grand final, and good luck for that.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Billy.
So well spoken.
Puppy. Old puppy dog.
It was interesting. The no sleep. I don't know who we blame for that. Do we blame Jimmer though?
Oof.
Is it Jimmer's fault? Is the coach? Is he?
Was Jimmer the one who didn't sleep? That's the.
Well, I mean, that's not
Power
what
used to Power used to employ, or when they were Ground Zero, used to employ a sleep psychologist. Jimmer's learnt a lot from him, so certainly about catching up. I feel like Torsos is too old now to not be on top of sleep, because he used to be a big problem. So I'm going to guess it's Banana Head, since it was Fever calling somebody out.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been a self-burn too, right? Like,
no,
you don't, if
it
he doesn't want to throw a team.
I know Fever.
You know?
That was him saying, look, I was pretty good that series. But there were some other people that weren't really pulling their weight. No, it was a great interview. Very open and honest, and clearly not quite happy with where they're at, which is fair enough.
He did talk about Chiefs versus Kib and the chance for one of those teams to take down Power in the grand final as well. And look at these rosters. Kaka's minions from last split up against the leftovers from last split in Kib Gang. And I think both these teams are going to have big chips on their shoulders.
I would imagine so as well, especially when they recognize the opportunity given to themselves, especially with Power saying the Pioneers are probably their biggest rival. Well, then, by logical thinking, this is a chance to get one over and maybe become that new number 2 or even number 1 team. It's all about taking advantage of the opportunity given to you.
Yep, and I want to say it. There it is. I've got Kib Gang. I've gone, you know what?
Whoa.
And so you can put everything aside saying, oh, he only goes for the Chiefs, because I'm going with my brain and I'm going with the eye test. It didn't work last series. It's probably not going to work this series, but I think Kib Gang have looked better. I think Chiefs look a little bit rusty. I think Kaka might have tweeted as well, Yomi. They're not looking great.
Yeah, well, I also think, you saw that you lost the last prediction, that you must be a curse for whoever you go for. So therefore you went for Kib Gang so that Chiefs could win. Fair enough.
There's always an angle, isn't it?
That's my thinking. He's trying to... Yeah. The Uno reverse card on that prediction right there. But let's be honest, the Chiefs are the team with more experience. They've been here a bit more often than some of the players on the Kib Gang here, CJ. So, I mean... It's odd to me to consider the Kib Gang a favorites when there's such a new roster.
Yeah, let us know in chat as well, real quick, who you got, Chiefs or Kib, before we get this one underway. You better be very, very quick, because we're going to fire here. Second semi-final. Who will join Team Power in the big dance there? 20 points on the line if you can take out this qualifier, which is massive in terms of the major.
The important thing as well, 4 points over on the Pioneers, a team that expectation would be for them to bounce back, and in a lot of ways, this was the Chiefs' reward for finishing first in at that Swiss stage. They're on the half of the bracket without the 2 biggest threats, and we'll see if they can take advantage of it and get full use of the points, or will the Kib Gang sort of unorg new team run? Very veteran players, though, and they find a way to really light OCE on fire.
Yeah, and we talk about the rivalries, the new lineups. We're getting Shores versus old side, Finn and Kaka as well, who... you think Finn and Kaka know every single thing that he's going to be able to do, and vice versa. And obviously you got Gus and Hunter taking to the field against each other for the first time this season. And you got Scrub as well, who's just, I guess he's pretty happy considering his old team just lost in Game 7.
Yeah, exactly. Scrub's probably maybe with the smallest chip on paper, but in theory, Scrub has always kind of played a little bit angry and always with that something to prove. And that's one of the scariest things about the Kib Gang is I get sort of that Ground Zero last season vibe back, split number 2 of a team of 3 players coming out incredibly hungry and then just absolutely dominating that first regional of the winter split. I can see Kib Gang doing something similar here, but the Chiefs are still going to be a tough one.
Yeah, they've looked incredible, actually, Kib Gang. You saw Gus highlight clip goals, highlight reel, and I think they're going to be a fantastic team that really you don't want to play this side, I'd say. It's one of those lineups, and, whenever that you get this, as you said, the chip on your shoulder sort of teams, they're certainly scary. But the Chiefs, obviously, through 2/3 of formerly Kaka's minions, and I mean, they've looked pretty good. They've done enough. They haven't lost yet. The Swiss stage, they had a forfeit in there, so they only played 2 series. But As I said, Kaka even said himself in a tweet that they're not quite firing. It's scrappy, but they're looking to find something. This could be the first opening of the demo comes through. Hunter managing to dodge that one.
Just good little touch right there, but now with no boost, what can they do against Gus? We'll go over the top of one, can't get past the second. The rest, though, of this Chiefs team kind of sitting back, and when we talk about the Chiefs, again, we have to remember we kind of have to talk about Kaka's minions a bit, because that's in a lot of ways what this Chiefs roster is, and that is a team that, I mean, there was a long while there, CJ, where they were known as the pinnacle defensive team, the team that sits back, the team that looks more so for counter-attacking plays than anyone else, and so far it looks like they're trying to do something almost similar here. Yeah,
and I remember just Shores has had so many moments where he's been an absolute brick wall. You look at, formerly with Tango, Finn and Kaka as well, that was just the most annoying team ever to play against, so we'll see what Hunter can add to this little duo. If he's going to bring a little bit more offense or maybe hold the fort as that third man. So far, though, it's working out pretty well for the Chiefs, and Kaka might be able to get the first goal. It's not quite the best shot. Finn wanted in as well. Hunter having to back off third man.
That was close, though. However, that will open an opportunity for the Kib Gang if they can stay on it. Something I'm noticing early, though, neither of these teams really doing a good job of maintaining that attacking pressure. This is turning into a very back and forth, up and down the pitch style game, which I don't know if you're the biggest fan of it, CJ. I think we were a little critical of it back on Friday, and I kind of feel the same here right now. I'd like to see more teams put emphasis on the middle of the pitch.
Yeah, we just get these series, don't we? Where it's not too crazy. Look at these, both the sides happy to back off straight away. Set up a bit of a tent, set up camp in net. And not too much of this midfield action. There it is again, the big overcommit though. It might be Shaw's last. Can they find the demo? But, time and time again, this is what they're doing. Both sides happy to risk that third man sitting deep and being exposed. But for the most part, both sides doing well to prevent that being a goal. That's a great fake though. And Hunter just walks that first goal in for the Chiefs.
I was about to say, it looked like the Chiefs were starting to be the first team to creep a little bit further forward and a little bit further more. We almost saw Gus get the counter-attacking goal just then. However, their little more risky play is rewarded. The first goal going to go to the Chiefs side. Still under a minute to go. I wonder if we'll see a bit more aggression from the Kib Gang.
Yeah, really nice there is Chiefs, as you said. They had a little bit more aggression for that, couple of minutes stint, and in the end, that's all they wanted, albeit it wasn't crazy pressure, as you said. It's very end-to-end, and even when Chiefs are pushing up, there's still someone who's playing fairly safe, especially compared to that team power lineup. Fever even saying it himself. They play very risky play style. Both of these sides playing quite the opposite at the moment for them.
Yeah, that they are, and not really doing the Kib Gang any favors. They've had such little offensive pressure. The only player putting shots on has been Shores. And with 15 seconds left, they kind of need that miracle touch here. Shores has the full tank, but gets bumped by Hunter. Finn puts it in, and that will do it for game one.
Yeah, really nice there. That's all but secured the first one on the board for the Chiefs. And whether that'll play into factor in later on in the series, certainly the Pioneers versus Power series, well, game 1 and 2 meant nothing, apparently. But for here, it's been all the Chiefs. There's been a lot of time in the orange half formal, and they should be happy with this first game.
I think they're going to be very happy with how controlled it was realistically. There's the desperation triple commit. Gus the only one who gets there, but even then time will run out. So the Chiefs look very solid in our opening affair. They take the first game with an easy 2-0.
Really nice there from the Chiefs. As you said, pretty easy. It was only 4 shots to 7. There wasn't, I guess, crazy offense from either side, but in the end, I think that's what the Chiefs really like to play. It's very conventional. It's more, we had that chess match with the Gremlins in the Chiefs as well, and I kind of felt a similar sort of way in that play. And maybe it is what you said, just a lack of midfield game. It's a bit more of a, we'll let you attack, and now you attack, and now we'll defend, and now you attack, and eventually it was the Chiefs that broke through.
Yeah, and I think it was the Chiefs who started to creep up a little bit further first. I noticed it more so from Hunter than anyone else. He started to get more in that middle of the pitch. Kaka is another player who historically I kind of look to be in that position as well, so I'm not too surprised that it was the Chiefs who got there first. But what I am surprised about was the lack of impact we saw from Scrub, actually, because Scrub I feel like would be the one who's going to be trying to meet them there, and Scrub was very quiet.
Yeah, he wasn't quite getting involved, was he? And that can be a positive, I guess you can say. If you are, if you're all firing formal and you're losing 2-0, you're probably in trouble. So I think it's always a positive. If some person's not quite as online as you'd like them to be, they can get involved. Could be able to turn things around. But no timeout. Just happy with the 1-0. Hang on a minute. What's going on with these tickers down here? What is Fortress putting? CJ spotted using the scope. I haven't read those. What is production putting down there?
It's been a big mess down there. I have been following it. At one stage, it seemed like someone was kidnapped. They're still trying to figure out what Yummy's favorite cheese is. Whoever's controlling that ticker has gone a little off the rails.
Gee whiz, I think they're a big fan of an HSP as well. Where's that team gone? Bring them back. I'm hungry. Here we go, though. Game 2 in the second semi. And will it be Chiefs to get a crucial Game 2 win? Well, it wasn't that crucial in the end for Pioneers, but as you said, every win's so important in these best of sevens. Mentality, mindset is everything. Or can Kib Gang get there first on the board?
It still does feel more like a marathon than the best of that 5 sprint, and we will see. Chiefs would love that quick 2-0 start. I think for Kib Gang, first they need to get a goal here, CJ. Getting shut out game number 1 is always kind of a worrying trend. This is the best they've looked so far. Scrub holds it tight for Shores, but they won't be able to get it in on the first or the second touch. It's Hunter who puts it through.
Yeah, Hunter says, I'm sick of this. I'll show you guys how to score. As you see Scrub coming across. It's Shores with the pre-flip off the post, and Hunter, well, that's an insane read. He didn't want to put that one back in his own net. A little bit of an OCE own goal. The first goal of the series for Kib Gang.
I still like to see it as, Kib Gang is still yet to get a point across, even though they're leading 1-0. But, hey, they'll take any point they can get and maybe build off of it. Although at the moment, here comes the Chiefs. Kaka won't make the touch. Gus already moving forward. Throws it into Hunter, but won't be able to get too far after that. Scrub again with another pop-up to the opposite end, but only Kaka is there.
Yeah, this is again, there's so much space. Look at Scrub right now. He's crawling up and down the wall. Someone get him off the backboard. 50 comes through. Going for the counter-attack, Kib Gang, but it's just, you watch Power in the last series formal. There's just someone up. It doesn't matter where they are. It doesn't matter if they're out of position. They're just going. But here you see, and there's a big whip from Kaka. 2-0 to Kib Gang. It is just such safe Rocket League, but that just builds pressure on yourself.
Yeah, it builds pressure, and it gives you no room for error. Granted, that was set up by the bump that we saw before, which, of course, there's going to be a bump. If you're only keeping one defender back, just get someone to get him out of the way. The goal will be there. Kaka going to recover. But yeah, you give yourself zero room for error when you play as far back as both these teams have been playing thus far. And while I admire the confidence to pull that one off, I wouldn't mind, even for security's sake, just having more players challenged further up the pitch.
Yeah, we need that midfield game to come in. I think if either side implements it, it's right there. It's right there for the taking. They can really grab this series by the scruff of the neck. For now, both sides happy to just play this defensive play, and then there's these big whiffs that happen, and then it just completely opens up the defense. Hunter doing really well to get a 50, but oh no, Finn's very awkward, and Finn has just whiffed. 3 on the board. Gus, he'll get a brace.
And even though we're not really seeing the Kib Gang challenge as much in the midfield I would like, what I am liking from them, particularly in this game, has been the bump, has been the demos, and even has been the harass. It's been Gus more so than anybody else who's kind of been that first member. Even on that goal, Gus was the first one forward and then rotated all the way back around in time for the shot. But yeah, they're the first team to really start trying to harass that back line, and it's paid dividends with that 3-0 lead. Yeah,
they're looking good right now, but it's a couple of those big mistakes. And as you said, when you are sitting that deep, the pressure just builds and builds, puts so much weight on every touch where you don't give yourself a chance to miss. But this is a nice opening. Finn should be able to score this. Turns around, pops it on, and gets no power on it. Had no moon, no boost at all on the little indicator there as Hunter goes up. That 50 is just going to fly down the other end. Kaka with no boost. Hands it up to Shores. Can't quite get the touch. Scrub pushing it forward. Does well. He finds a bit of space. He does lose possession, but gives his whole team time to grab boost.
Feels so wrong for me when I'm seeing these slow lobs across the pitch and then all 3 members on the opposite side just kind of waiting for the ball to come to them. Especially when down 3-0 right now, the Chiefs. This is far too passive, and this is a similar critique I used to have of the Kaka's Minions. Back with that lineup was under that name. When they would fall behind, sometimes it would be because of this playstyle, and I always thought they were at their best when they were moving forwards. Hunter couldn't get that touch.
Oh, you thought Hunter surely was able to get that touch. Nice fake from Finn. Shot on as well. Kaka was there, but Gus even better to meet him. Just Hunter last for now. Gus uses the flip, gets a reset. No boost to work with. And as you said, you know, Chiefs, their 3 goes down, but you wouldn't know it the way they're playing. It's still very, I don't want to say slow, because that doesn't sound right, but it's conservative.
It's conservative, and it's a style that works well maybe in the Swiss stage when you're against teams that are more prone to unforced errors, or even, you know, if you go back to their matchup against the Gremlins and how they were looking a little sloppy initially as well. But at this stage, top 4 Championship Sunday, teams shouldn't be expected to make mistakes, and so far, Kib Gang, they haven't really made any here in game number 2, and so there's just been no opening for the Chiefs as a 4th goal doesn't quite go in.
And that is a conscious decision as well from the Chiefs. One of their biggest, I guess, concerns was when they did come up against the Gremlins back in that quarterfinal, they were playing too fast. That was what they sort of realized. They had to sit back and play a bit more structured Rocket League, but gee, at some point you'd think they need to show a little bit of flair, you know, a little bit of dare as well to push forward, look for a bump, look for that pass downfield. Because against these top teams, you know, especially against your powers, you're just going to get demoed on that last line of defense.
But here's the thing, though. I wouldn't be entirely against this approach had they got the first goal, right? Had they had the lead like they had in game number 1, this can work. But it goes back to the lack of adaptability that we see from every sort of team, not really named Power or even the Pioneers kind of are struggling with it, as Finn will get one across. So it's not going to be a shutout. He's going to get on the board.
Yeah, it's a really nice bump from Hunter, and an even better pass from Kako, actually, just changing up the angle. Gus then was crept on it, in behind. Great placement on the shot. Again, it is a bit of a goal out of nothing, but 12 seconds left. This has to be Kib Gang's game, you would think. It'd be interesting to see if Chiefs want to call a timeout here, or they're happy with how this one would have. Hang on a second.
Aka, all right, I see you. That was a little bit filthy on the fake reset. Gets underneath. Scrub made to look a little silly. Don't know if that trick works twice, CJ, but it definitely makes this kickoff interesting.
Very interesting indeed. 7 seconds left. What do? It's a standard kickoff. Kako racing under the boost. Hunter grabs it. 2 seconds left, and there you go. Scrub just puts that ball down. GG in chat. 1-1 in the series. And that was just Kib Gang right from the get-go.
It was, but it did get a little bit nervy in the end. Chiefs discovering, hey, the bump game can work to get a goal, and then the solo play, it works for them as well. So it might not have felt like a 3-2 game. That's still going to be the final score. I'm not writing the Chiefs off yet, but I do really feel like if they're going to continue to play this much more conservative style, they really need that first point.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. I don't love it. I think that they need to find a happy medium. Obviously, they were, you know, too aggressive to start off that Gremlin series. Then they really backed it off. They got the win. It was pretty, I won't say stock standard, but it was a nice result for them to get that 4-2. But now it feels like they're taking a little bit too far. They're lacking just a little bit of flair. They're lacking a little bit of dare, as I said. And I just want to see him maybe just take a few more risks in this game number 3.
Yeah, but who's going to be the player to do it? Because my eyes are on Hunter to be that guy. I mean, Hunter was the one who was maybe leading the charge in that series against the Gremlins. He was the one always going for the pre-flips, the one making some of those more disrespectful challenges in the middle of the pitch. I want to see that Hunter again here today, maybe with the other two, if they still want to keep it toned down a little.
I'm going Finn. He's Yummy's boy Misty's clone. Potentially, if he can pop off, gee whiz. Good luck. Look out, everyone else. I'm looking to see if he can really get active in this series. There's a nice pass from Kaka. Does find Finn. 100 boost as well. Gus has to track back on the line. 50 comes through. Shores goes. Hunter backing right off. Nice and relaxed here. Doesn't get the touch. Scrub just clearing downfield. All the boosts so far for the Chiefs. They've double faked themselves, but they've worked the ball out.
Oh, it's great. They had all the boost and then used it for the double fake. A great use of resources, but fortunately for them, there was nobody from the Kib Gang who was pushing forward to punish, which goes back to some of our previous problems. That said, ball's in front of the net now, and where is the follow-up? It's sitting more in the middle of the pitch. Kaka gets that first touch, is going to look for the second. Shores, a little bit of a fake, but Kaka still stayed on the play. Either way, in the corner, both teams struggling to get it out.
You know what this feels like, Formal? And chat can agree or disagree, but it feels very like NA sort of gameplay. You know what I mean? It's very sort of structured, sort of passive, a lot safer, relying on kind of big plays, big moments to wear the other team out, rather than, grabbing boost, turning back in, looking for a bump, grabbing a demo, quick pass, cutting rotation. It's very standard rotation, looking for these bumps, and maybe just waiting for a mistake.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. It's been the waiting for the mistake, and in a lot of ways, that's how these teams have gotten to this point so far in this regional, so it's not too surprising that they might lean on it as Hunter, fake touch, sets up Kaka, and it's a 1-0 lead.
There you go. It just takes someone to sit downfield. In this case, it was Hunter because he had no boost. Found himself there off the backboard and forces the poor touch from Gus. That's all it can take. Just someone, sitting themselves downfield, maybe purposely being a bit slow back to create an attacking option.
This is the type of game that Amphis would absolutely be destroying right now, because I feel like he's always the one sitting down at that opposite end. Kaka off the kickoff. Beautiful pass. It's 2-0.
Yeah, really nice. This is just picking the angle perfectly, and it's Hunter again. Just launches it off the ceiling. Downfield pass. Shores can't get back. Bottom corner wide open. Find the angle. Pick the goal. Kaka with 2.
And this is a lot more of what I wanted to see from this Chiefs side. Again, back in game 1, they were the first team to start pushing down the pitch. It's been the same thing here right now in game number 3. They're hopefully proving to themselves that, hey, we can play downfield Rocket League. We don't need to sit back, and the results will come.
We'll see if they can do that now. They've got 2 goals. This is kind of where I'll allow them to be a bit more passive form with a 2-0 lead. But for now, this is all been the Chiefs. Kib Gang not able to get that early lead that they got in game number 2. And they really struggled in the first when they didn't get that lead early.
Oh, awkward touch. Still not going to go in. I'm still waiting to see Scrub have that big impact. It's not happening here. 3-0 lead for the Chiefs.
I'm not sure what Gus was thinking here. He knew he was last man, but he just clearly didn't expect Finn to be challenging that ball. It was a heavy touch to the corner, and he was so late to jump and force a touch out of Finn. Open net for the Chiefs. 3-0 lead. This feels like this game's just run away from Kib Gang.
It really has, and this kickoff is going to add to it if it had gone top, far down and in. Unfortunately, a little bit too high for Kaka, but Hunter's going to have another crack. No boost, no matter. Goes for the 50, loses out. Still, no one from the Kib Gang has been able to get a touch at the middle of the field until possession is just kind of handed over to them.
Yeah, maybe it is your man, Hunter. I like what I'm seeing from the Wonder Kid as Finn. Reset. One more, doesn't get the bump. Look at the space, though, here for the Chiefs. Kaka just works it around Scrub. Finn's downfield with a 100 boost as well.
Oh, boy.
Can he get a redirect? Oh, he's got Gus in all sorts. Hunter thought he was going to whiff that one. Didn't quite get the touch. They can back right off. Minute 45. They're doing so well to kill time off the clock. 3-goal lead still.
I feel so bad for Gus in this game. It feels like Gus has been left on his own so many times so far in this third game of just having to be that third man, and has kind of been flailing around a bit. As you said, some touches maybe not really going their way, but only more recently have we seen Shores back there kind of helping them out. It's not working for the Kib Gang. With whatever this rotational play has been, it's not there. Double commit for the Chiefs. Doesn't matter. Kaka almost got the second touch.
This is a completely different play style Kib Gang than what we saw yesterday and in the first day as well, where they were really challenging the top teams. Are looking good. There's a reason why I predicted them. I thought they were going to be the more aggressive side, but not to be so far. We're not seeing Gus, as you said, offensively. I don't want Gus as that third man formula. I want him as that first man or second man in, 100 boost, going for the big play, trying to be the playmaker, setting up space for himself. Right now, as you said, he's stuck on an island. He can't get forward, and they've got no offense at all.
It just really felt like positionally he's just been out of sync from the other two, but also has kind of been the focal point of the attack. The Chiefs almost recognizing it and kind of keeping it around him throughout. It's why we haven't really seen too much Scrub and Shore so far. Only within the past minute or so has the others kind of forced themselves to get more involved. Maybe could be an opening here. Gus, full tank of gas, goes for the challenge against Finn, but there's just no one there to follow it up.
Yeah, no one at all. This has been so clinical from the Chiefs, and to give them credit, but also Kib Gang not changing anything. It's almost like Chiefs last game when they didn't get the lead. They didn't change anything up. This time, Kib Gang, well, that was their first chance, their first live chance, but it's 10 seconds left, and they've got to concede down the other end. There's 4 on the board. Hunter says, thank you very much. And Chiefs are going to get the 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I mean, this goal doesn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of things. Shores was just kind of pushing forward, hoping that there'd be a chance to be that third man banging it through. Is too far forward in the end. Hunter will find the counter. 4-0 victory for the Chiefs, looking more akin to what we saw in game number 1, but it's been an interesting series, back and forth, yes, CJ. However, I mean, something's got to give on the Kib Gang side right now. They got to find that more aggressive edge. Where did the bumps and demos go that carried them in game 2?
16 shots to 5 as well. That ball absolutely lived in the blue, in the orange half. I forgot what the color blue was for half of that game, where Kib Gang just were not linking up at all. It was, it's vanilla Rocket League almost, where I don't think that's going to get the job done. Both sides kind of went with that approach in the first game. Kib Gang got the early lead, and then we saw stock standard in game 2, and now game 3. Chiefs that first team to really push forward. You see it there. It's Hunter looking for the redirect. He doesn't get the touch, but it's making something happen. It's changing up the speed, and they're getting rewarded for it.
Yeah, I really am hoping to see the Kib Gang bounce back. I'm a little bit surprised we didn't see the timeout taken. I think that would have been the game to do it, so obviously they're still feeling like it's okay. That game was an anomaly. We'll find that aggressive edge again. Although, we have a timeout on the Chiefs side.
Yeah, a little bit of a game crash there for Hunter. So he's just it would just be getting his Rocket League restarted. That should be a very quick fix. So it should be all good for Hunts. He always has these sort of gameplay issue and things going on. I'm not sure what's going on with his PC, but yeah, Hunter. Chiefs, as you said, he was the man that series pushing forward. Great to see Kaka getting the early 2 goals, being getting the reward for the early aggression, and the only team really to be aggressive at all, getting rewarded.
Yeah, exactly. But that was the same thing that happened in game 2, right? We saw Gus being that aggressor, the one who was constantly down the pitch. Occasionally Shoraz, I guess, was down there as well. The recurring theme has been the team willing to kind of play down the pitch has been the team getting the wins. So I'm hoping that's been recognized going into game 4, and we'll actually see both teams looking to press forward that little more, look to stop giving away free touches in the middle of the field. But until that happens, I don't know what it's a strange series, CJ. It's been a really, really weird one for me.
Yeah, again, it's kind of, I have, the beat with the stick meme. I'm kind of poking. Yeah. I'm poking right now Kib Gang, saying do something, and I think it's Gus has to get out of there downfield. I think if he's stuck, Formal, he just needs to get out and maybe take a risk. Say, you know what? I'm not playing defense. You guys can get back there and sort it out, because I need to get down here and do something offensively, create some magic for the Kib Gang. Maybe that'll be their way back in. But still, it's not the end of the world. They're only 2-1 down. They don't want the timeout. They're happy with how they're going. Let's see what they can do in game number 4.
I have high expectations for both these teams in this game. I think this is going to be the one where things get a little bit messy, a little bit chaotic, and already big bumps on Scrub. Shot down the middle. Hunter's redirect, but it's recovered by Scrub with a pretty nice save.
Look at that, though. It's Hunter getting a touch, and he just waits downfield. He has 0 boost. He's sitting in front of net saying, hit me. And that is huge for the offense from the Chiefs. That's not what we see from the Kib Gang. Finally, they find an outlet here, but Tucker with the cleanup crew. That's really nice control from him. Hunter spawned and said, okay, I guess I'll have it. Didn't quite work out. It's a nice beat from Gus. 0 boost, though. Won't be able to anything there. But look at this link-up play. Even Finn downfield. It's the new age rotation rather than the old school vanilla kind of style. And it's Chiefs are the ones to do it.
Yeah, but can they do it consistently? Because when they mess up, Kib Gang are there to try to punish, and now it's Kib Gang looking to set up through the corner. Gus just waiting right outside. Gets over 1, contact with the ball, doesn't win it out, forces Scrub forward now. There's no one really in the middle of the pitch. Shores is there, but has no boost, so has to collect, and Hunter nearly punished by taking it down the center. And that right there just kind of showcased how the Chiefs are a little bit faster at these rotations consistently.
You can see it there. Finn just getting the beat as well on the sidewall. They're winning these little challenges. Scrub handing the ball up to Hunter. Gus is missing. Double commit coming through. They're wasting boost just to clear it downfield. Look at Finn just waiting for it. End to end. What can he do? He's going to fake it. Bounce, dribble, pass. Hunter went. He didn't see that coming. Tucker should be okay there. Yeah, Gus went early on the touch. Kib Gang with space and a lot of it. Chiefs happy to back off. And it's interesting, Rocket League. He was racing the ball around to the corner trying to find some space. But again, nothing being created for the Kib Gang.
I want to go back to that Finn dribble. I feel like that was the equivalency of like the Patrick Mahomes no-look pass, except not even the own team was ready for it there. Like that was one of the most sort of dynamic approaches I've seen in a while. I'm liking that the Chiefs are now starting to feel more and more comfortable to like even attempt that kind of stuff right now, because again, it's off of how much space the Kib Gang has been giving them. Hunter Again through the corner, backboard. Kaka's just got like a free shot here, and somehow this is the pass to Hunter.
I don't know. I think he was in two minds. Last second, he thought maybe I would just pass it, but he just fired the ball. He left Hunter with just so much work to do to put that one home. That had to be a goal. He really should have just shot it himself. Well, that's almost a goal down the other end. If Scrub was ready in time, Finn inches it across. Hunter takes it off him with boost. Gus has to go. Gets the pop-up. Where's the link-up play here for Kib Gang? Who's it got to be? Scrub's looking downfield.
Scrub.
Finn goes for it. But again, they're just not finding it. Scrub wanted a pass. But Finn and the boys just locking it out here for the Chiefs. Keeping this ball in the orange half. It does feel like game 3 again. Just no link-up play down front again. You just see it. There's so much space for the Chiefs to fire it on net.
Oh, I mean, Scrub was looking, but Scrub went a little bit too deep right there, so I don't want to be entirely too critical, but yeah, they're just not on the same page, so now Scrub finally tries to go a little bit more solo, and, well, that actually gets the ball onto the blue side of the field right now. However, possession is going to be given back. Hunter throws it to the side. Kaka should get there first, but doesn't get the boost, so we'll actually let it drop for Hunter, who burns all of theirs to get it past one, not the second. No sense of urgency from either team.
So smart from Kaka. Waited down, sensed that he had more boost to give. Gus tries to get a redirect. Finds Scrub. Kaka with pace. Look at Hunter just sitting downfield. And that touch right there can just release them. All that pressure. You can see they'll low, but they can get possession back. Hang on a minute. Gus has taken this, though. This is looking like Zen at the World Championships. Never mind. Finn says, get out of here, son. Shores with enough boost to clear the ball. Gus is trying to be that link-up player downfield, which is what we want, Formal. It's not working just yet, however.
That hasn't come through at this moment. Finn will lose out on the challenge to Gus, though, and maybe we'll get a bit more here as Shores tries to throw things into the center of the pitch. Scrub loses out on the challenge and opening for Kaka right here. Finn gets a demo to stay behind the ball, but Shores gets back in time. What a save! Second shot, it's high, it's post. Hunter goes low and Scrub pushes it to save.
Complete another panic coming through. Shores clutching up for now. They need to get back. Are they going to be able to capitalize down the other end? Hunter has to go. He's got no boost. This is chaos now. Shores with boost. Gets one more. Finn can get a free clear downfield. Both sides probably happy with the end result.
I mean, I don't know. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm going to be a little bit frustrated. We couldn't get it through then. 30 seconds of regulation remaining. Top post down, not in. Gus plays it to their own backboard, though, and Kaka's there. Kaka might be able to sneak it through. Scrub has to dive. We're finally seeing an increase in pace from the shots, at least coming from the Chiefs side, but they can't get it in.
So many double commits, though, from Kib Gang. It feels like if they're going to score, it's going to be from a solo play, not a pass. There's a shot. Finn with boost. Backing off his Scrub. Caught out. Hunter catches it underneath. The demos are coming through. Can they walk it through? Finn's looking for the butt flick. Perfect from Kaka. 0-second goal. Chiefs 3-1.
Oh, and this is like how you want to dream up this type of situation. All three members of the Chiefs coming down front and center. Finn just able to keep Scrub pinned in the back of the net, and you could have put that ball anywhere it was going through. Great job by the Chiefs. One game away now, CJ, from getting themselves into that grand final.
Yeah, shout out to the Chiefs boys in chat. They just said, just put it in. And then shortly after, Kaka said, okay, I'll find the net. Great goal from him. Great chase from Finn as well. Hunter with 4 saves. Just looking down the defense and the other end of things. But, man, oh man, Chiefs had so many chances to score. And I really wish Kib Gang called a timeout for them. Well, they changed it up a little bit, but they needed that extra time, even though there was a tech pause, to just work things out and change some structural things up.
Yeah, something just is not clicking on that team, and even just the mental reset to get everybody back on the same page, I think would do this side wonders, because outside of sort of the general positioning, if there is a key difference in this game, it has been the inability for the Kib Gang to find each other. I do want to go back, though, and I'm not necessarily saying that this is a be-all, end-all excuse. This is the difference, though, between a team that has come together for the second split versus a team that I think has been playing together, at least a couple of their parts, a little bit longer on that Chiefs side. So I think that could be a reason why maybe the Kib Gang are struggling at this stage.
I don't know, it's just not the same team, and I obviously give a lot of credit to Chiefs, but they're not playing as trusting as they did before, Kib Gang, and whether it's just a new day, and as you said, the inconsistency of a new roster right now. There's no response just yet, and no timeout either. They just want to keep things rolling. Chiefs, one game away from a nice little 4-1 to go into the grand final. What a shot from Kaka, and what a pass as well. The setup from Hans, exceptional from the Chiefs.
And this is the difference of team cohesion right there. The placement from Kaka getting past all 3 members of the Kib Gang. This is what happens though when you give up so much space. I mean, the players are that talented. Obviously, on the Chiefs side, they hit that Kaka. That was so good.
Yeah, this is really danger signs now. All the alarms are firing on the Kib Gang side of things. Down a goal, backs against the wall. It's a nice touch from Shores, but I mean, look, it's just messy. You see the structure there. They're both going, oh, do you want the mid boost? Okay, I'll back off. There's no automatic rotations coming through from the Kib Gang. Finally, some demos from Gus. He's decided to take matters into his own hands. There's a pop across. It is wide. Kaka with no boost finds a 50.
Now Gus actually has to fall back for this one. Shores is going to go all the way back to their far corner. Very fortunate for them that Hunter didn't get the touch there, but still Kaka is going to be a threat. Gets the bump on Shores and Finn's underneath. That's just in, CJ, and it's now 2-0.
Yeah, they're running away now. It's a great shot from Finn. You look at Kaka just finding the bump on Shores as well. And Finn, that's a beautiful little shot from him. Bottom corner wide open. No rotation back in time for the Kib Gang. 2-goal lead for Chiefs. 4 minutes away from the big dance.
Oh, this is going to be so huge for the Chiefs as well to get to this grand final. I mean, again, when you look at these players, it's going to be a big opportunity. Obviously, Power could be a monster, but we're not done yet. Oh, how does that not go through?
I think he's bumped. I don't know. The bump cleared the ball at the same time. It's just not Kib Gang's day, and it definitely isn't now. Is that got to be in? No. Great save from Shores has been demoed. Gus on the counter-attack. Delayed musty flick. Pops it over the top. Finds Finn. Kaka's very awkward. This has to be a goal right here, right now. Popped up. Finn keeping it out. Kib Gang, they don't know what to do. They haven't seen a goal. They forgot what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it feels like. And they can't find it there.
I mean, they're still hunting. Maybe, it's experimentation. Eventually, something might go right, but that's not going to be on this attack. Hunter now with the chance has Kaka underneath. Shores will run enough disruption. Gus, though, won't be able to get the fast clear back out with the teammate because they ran into scrub, so they have to stay back. Might work in their favor. Never mind. Finn takes it away.
Shores with a clear to the side, but again, it's just down the wrong end and Kib Gang not... hang on. How on earth has Hunter manipulated that ball with the ceiling pitch? He wasn't even looking that way. He finds he's... I don't know. I do not know how he's got that on target. He's used his wheels. He's found the pinch, and he's found a phenomenal 3rd goal for the Chiefs. That might be GG's.
That has to be. I feel like we haven't really seen anything from the Kib Gang to bring it back, and Hunter has just been playing better and better and better as this series progresses. This is promising for the Chiefs. Again, they're finding their confidence. They're finding their mojo that may have been lacking at the start. They're going to need it, assuming they win this one out and they go up against Power. But if Hunter continues to hit shots like that, I mean, we're going to have a proper final on our hands.
I don't want to create any allegations, but all of a sudden there's this random game PC crash from Hunter, and all of a sudden the ball turns into a homing missile. Someone check him, PC. Oh, what has happened there? I don't know how on earth he's got that on target, but he's got to get one more. Bottom corner. What a save from Gus. But again, these saves, they mean nothing apart from some stat padding if you're not going to get goals down the other end.
They're still going to try. Kib Gang on the hunt. Scrub, though, will lose out on that possession, and Finn finds the gap. Scrub has to go to their own backboard. Both teammates, though, already sitting behind them, so there's really nowhere safe for Scrub to go. It makes it so easy for the Chiefs to just play in the middle of the pitch and kind of control the tempo even now with just under 2 minutes remaining. I don't see the Kib Gang easily giving themselves more chances.
Yeah, this is huge. This is absolutely huge for the Chiefs to get this win, and what style as well. Now you're looking towards a grand final after this game, all things going well. Boy, oh boy, Power, if they're watching this one, you're going to be a little bit nervous the way they're playing when Hunter's on this kind of form as well. Look at him. He's just killing so much time off the clock. Gus hasn't been able to get active. Former teammate of Hunter. Chiefs completely dominating this series.
Yeah, I just have to wonder in situations like that how Hunter's allowed to dribble it, and where have the Kib Gang gone when Kaka can drive straight up the middle to really put the dagger in this series.
Massive win for the team. New side here on the Chiefs. Massive win for the Org as well. Obviously, last split, that first series, that first qualifier, should I say, didn't quite go their way, but a grand final berth for the Chiefs does themselves a world of wonder in their race for the Major and the World Championship as well. They've got a lot of points to catch up on the Pioneers, but already making the grand final. They get that head start. They get that jump over the Pioneers early. Now you got to look at trying to take out the entire event as well. Finn doesn't get the touch. Minute left for the Chiefs. It's just party time at this point. Kib Gang, no response, no timeout. Almost like they just, I don't know. When you don't call a timeout formally, it just feels weird to me. Like you're not trying to, use all your resources, or not sure what's happening there.
It just has to be a mentality thing of you feel like, the timeout will just slow us down, I guess, and let's get straight into it. But definitely has not been the winning formula. Another goal for Kaka to add insult for injury, and this just got to feel so good for all of those Chiefs fans out there as well. Again, they are one of the most popular orgs just in Oceania as a whole, so to see them getting back to a regional final, to see them back in control of their own destiny, something that you mentioned they've missed out on all of last split. It's going to feel good.
Yeah, the Chiefs are so back in business. Oh, never mind. I'm never going to say it again. It's a double own goal. Insane pass play. It's Hunter to Kaka with the shot coming through. That is beautiful OCE stuff right there. The first goal for Kib Gang in about 300 years, Formal, is an own goal.
Wasn't their last one an own goal as well?
Is it? Wait, has it just been 2 own goals?
Yeah, so we had Hunter get one. I think that was
goodness.
their first goal. Their first and their last goal is going to be an own goal in this series. There's something poetic
Yeah,
about
the bookend own goaling of a series is something insane. But yeah, what a series from the Chiefs, and what a moment for them. Perhaps I am a curse. Every time I predict them, they don't do well. That's an insane team pinch. But this has been just clinical from them. It's been workmanlike, getting the job done in style, 4-1. They've got a date with Team Power in the grand final. It's nice to see Chiefs versus Power in a final. I love it. I don't mind it. And the Chiefs get the win, take the series out, take the second semi, and they will be the second team there in the big one.
I like that, though. Chiefs Power Grand Final is kind of like this sort of old, long-standing org versus the new, upcoming, new juggernaut. Like, there's a lot of fun ways to look at this. And when you look at the lineups, though, it's kind of that other way around, right? It's the newer lineup with the Chiefs taking on what has been the juggernaut in Power. It's going to be an absolute blast. But, I mean, my question right now, Yummy, for you, what happened to Kib Gang?
A bit untested, I'll say. We didn't know where, more specifically with the Chiefs, they were untested throughout this. We didn't know how good they would be, and they certainly stepped up in that series. Kib Gang, they are the leftovers, and I think as the team that has 3 brand new players, they're going to be the ones kind of hitting the drawing board over the next 2 weeks and probably making the biggest improvements to get to that next step.
Yeah, I think that it was clear they kind of had one style. It was working all weekend. They clearly woke up today and it didn't quite work. They had a mismatch. They were caught off guard by Chiefs, and they didn't have a response. And that kind of goes to show they're a brand new team and they don't really know how to adapt. Whereas, you look at a Team Power, they look terrible. They call a timeout. They completely change it up. So they'll get better. They'll be better for the run. And that's not a bad result, Formal, for their first event.
I think they're going to be proud, and I don't know if we can call them the dark horse team anymore after this regional. Once you get to the top 4, we have to look at you as a serious contender. So there'll be a bit more pressure, I feel like, on them as well, especially if Major is going to be in their sights. So improvement, it's mandatory as opposed to just kind of being a want next time.
To be fair, they are tied up at the moment with one of the major teams, KCP, from last split. So they're very much in the throwing distance right now. Unlike some of the teams who kind of got knocked out 5th to 8th early on in the last split and then had to really try and catch up. Chiefs being that team that have now broken through, got into the grand final. New roster, Kaka's Minions now in there with Finn having never won a regional, now gets another shot. And I feel like in the past when we talked about Finn and these grand finals, we never really gave him the shot to win it all. But I feel like today and this weekend, this could be his time.
Yep, this isn't just the 4th team in OC. Finn in the past has sort of been on that 3rd or 4th team, but it's been a clear 3rd or 4th team. Nowadays, I don't think we really have that anymore, Formal. I still don't know if Power are the best team. Chiefs could absolutely come out and put in a strong showing and take out this entire event.
Well, we're going to find out in that next match. It's going to be the grand final up after this one. Chiefs versus Power coming up next.
but it has instinct and a ferocious desire to survive and reproduce. Their antennae detect food and water, so the roach keeps its antennae clean. They're small and can fit into cracks and crevices. Roaches have great peripheral vision. Come on. But it has instinct and a ferocious desire to survive and reproduce. Their antennae detect food and water, so the roach keeps its antennae clean. They're small and can fit into cracks and crevices. Roaches have great peripheral vision.
like Kib, you got me twisted. Freak of the week like Kib, you got me twist. Freak of the week like Kib, you got me twisted. Freak of the week like Kib, you got me twist. Yeah. Freak of the week like 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 freak of the 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 week like Kib, you got me twist. Twisted. Kib, you got me twisted. Freak of the week like Kib, you got me twist. Freak of the week like Kib, you got me twisted. Freak of the week like Kib, you got me twist. Yeah. Freak of the week like 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 freak of the 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 week like Kib, you got me twist.
grand final has arrived. The first grand final here on the Fortress Global channel for RLCS OCE. Oh, I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, CJ, you take over the host for a second.
Ladies and gents, we've made it to the grand final. What the? This guy's just taking me. Yeah, you want to just solo cast the grand finals off?
Yeah, actually, that sounds great. You guys both go away.
We've made it, guys. We've made it. It's been a huge weekend. There's been ups and downs. There's been upsets. There's been, days where we didn't need to be here, like Saturday, where we had the top 4 cruise their way through. But we've made it to the big dance form where we have Chiefs and Power. Is this what you expected coming into the weekend?
I mean, yes and no. I think we did expect to see Power here. I think Chiefs are a team we could have seen make it here. However, it's the method in how each of these teams got here, Yummy, that I feel has been the surprise.
I would have probably expected Pioneers, based on the rosters, to be in the grand final if I was to choose 2 teams. But as you said, not a surprise to see Chiefs, maybe Kib Gang as the teams, maybe even a Gremlins make it into the top 2. But we've got Power versus the Chiefs. We've got 2 teams coming in hot, especially Chiefs after getting a 4-1 victory. Look like they have the momentum and have already just warmed up. So for them, I'm going to say it's going to be really important to get off to a good start against a slow starting Power.
Yeah, we all had Power, didn't we? But it was a far bumpier road to the grand final than we once thought. And Chiefs, who would have thought it? Who would have thunk it? Should I say? That's even better. That a 4-1 victory over Kib Gang. I just didn't see that series form being so one-sided.
I mean, I didn't see it being as one-sided as it was either, but maybe we need to go back to our buckets from before and start giving a bit more to the Chiefs, because they did get through Friday as the #1 seed. They have arguably looked the cleanest so far in, the knockout best-of-7 stage as well. This is a team that's playing pretty hot right now, and Hunter has been fastly improving, it feels like, with each and every game. So credit to the Chiefs and credit to the momentum that they have at this stage.
Their biggest problem is that they know about Power's peak. At the peak, Power are the best, and we've seen moments, glimpses of that throughout the last series. Not quite an entire series of that, but you just never know when Fever's all of a sudden going to be playing like that every single game.
Hell, I mean, just diving into this head-to-head matchup, obviously it's a completely new roster for the Chiefs. Hunter joining Kaka's minions. None of these players, however, have even really got close to victory against Power. That last split was so dominant from Team Power, and the only teams were Kib Gang, who Chiefs did take down, and Ground Zero to beat Power. So what are the keys to success for Chiefs? I know that in this off-season, in between splits, their scrims have been going well, but what do they need to do, Yummy, to take down this mighty Power army?
I think some of it is literally just watching that last series that played, that there are moments where you are going to get space, and not just to become a one-dimensional team when that happens. To still have your passes, have your solo plays coming out from Hunter and Finn in particular, who are, able to beat anybody in the air. And, that's pretty much the same true for against any team. But yeah, don't become one-dimensional when you've got the time.
Part of me is a little bit worried, though, that when it comes to sort of warm-up matches, Kib Gang is probably so far removed away from Power's style, at least what we saw today in those series, that part of me is a bit concerned in how well the Chiefs are going to be able to change if Power comes out the gate in that semifinal. I feel like that's an adjustment period that is going to play to Power's favor.
Well, clearly we're very concerned about that change of style, because we've all gone Power across the board. And you know what I say, Yummy? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Team Power have not lost a single grand final this entire season. So why on earth would I go the other way? But that's it from me.
CJ, you're just trying to keep the curse alive.
Yeah, no. Again, stop this. That's it from me. I'm going to get out of here.
It works
I'm going to sit back.
series.
I'm going to sit back. I'm going to recline. I'm going to watch some peak OCE gameplay. Yummy cheese, man, and formal. It's the first grand final of the next split. Split number 2. Take it away.
Grand final has arrived. The chance to get yourself so far ahead in points that you can cruise through the second and third split. Only one of these teams can do it. One has got 3 under their belt this season, and one has a player that hasn't even won a regional before.
Yeah, exactly. But as we were talking about briefly before, this could be one of the best opportunities for Finn to get there first. And that sounds crazy, against a Power team that has yet to drop a grand final this year, but it's just been their form so far this split, and this regional, I should say. I mean, already looking a little bit shaky across the midfield right there. It could have been an opportunity for the Chiefs, but if they are going to take this away, they're going to have to take it away. They can't be as passive as they were in that last series.
And in terms of numbers of victories too, you know, Kaka has a couple under his belt when he was with Ground Zero, with Super Lucky. That team obviously didn't last too long. Kaka was only with them for that one split, two splits, and couldn't quite get it to work and couldn't quite get them to Worlds. And, since then hasn't had that success. Nobody has against Power. Hunter found that same level of success too, but under the Pioneers roster. We'll see. Torsos probably has more wins than anybody else on this pitch combined.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is going to be favoring that blue side when it comes to the experience side of things. It's also going to favor them on the scoreboard. Torsos gets the first one across.
Early start for Power, but Banana Head managing to beat out 2 Hunter. Just not quite sure whether he should challenge and try to rush back to net, but not in time.
And a little bit surprising, actually, to see, the Chiefs kind of getting caught out that far forward. Power will be a team that will look to punish, but it's going to be a good start for the side in blue. Still very early days, though, as, Banana Head just sets up Kaka, who misses!
Oh, very, very painful for the Chiefs. You can't afford to miss those opportunities against Power, especially as we saw that Power are comfortable in the lead. You want to cut that off as soon as possible. And, there's grand final nerves coming in.
And it's interesting to see, though, because, I don't know, I'd feel like Kaka would be the one who you'd expect to be the most consistent, the most stable in these situations. This time they'll get it through, and we're tied 1-1.
Makes up for it for the full line drive. Manages to recover quickly off the backboard. Cuts out 1, 2, and then the third with the flick. And ties it up.
A little bit surprised to see Torsos caught out like that, but without boost, there really wasn't much they could do, and the trust Power had. Now they're going to be employing it off the kickoff as well. Hunter trying to stay behind it, drives it into Fever, but wins that challenge. And so far, a few minutes into this series, it's been a little bit sloppy. You can credit that to Grand Foul Nerves. Kaka, a chance for a double, finds his second.
Well, I guess he took that little miss to heart and now has 2 on the board. Quickly recovering. Can be quite difficult after the first touch to really get around if you have to move that far, but he manages to instantly get across and get the lead all of a sudden. Beginning of this grand final. We said they had to start off strong, formal. We said that Power, are slow starters. And they've done exactly what they needed to so far in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. They have that early lead, but there's still half a game to go. And maybe, making up for that early mistake, playing off the momentum from their last semi-final win. But it'd be remiss to assume that Power is just going to, kind of roll over, especially in these early stages. They're going to want to get their own mojo flowing as quick as possible. Ball gets behind them. Torsos have to try to slow things down. Does get bumped, and already Kaka is there. Here comes Hunter. Can't get there before.
It's going to be Finn with the follow-up play. We know what Finn can do with time on the ball. He's done exactly what he needed, but Kaka didn't put any power on that one.
Trying too hard to play it safe, and Fever with just enough boost to get back in time. An amazing save coming from the Power side. One to realistically keep themselves in this game number 1, but at the moment they're just struggling to get anything going. Hunter nearly got that one there.
Finn, he's going to take that one high, get the bump as well. Kaka, no! Hunter as well. It's spreading.
No one can put it through, and I don't know how much of this is nerves, panic mechanics coming into play, but when you leave points up against Power, you tend to get punished. Fever nearly finds it there.
Well, they're not going to be so happy with themselves, Chiefs, but they still have the lead, and that's all that's important. They gave one quick little opportunity for Power and maybe able to turn it around on them as they have just now. Banana Head misses off the backboard. There's a double demo in the midfield, a brief 2v2 moment. The respawn will happen, and now it's back to 3 in the defense. Although Hunter can't get up, Fever beats out everyone to that ball, and it's the quick thinking of Kaka that keeps him clear.
Something that I'm liking, though, already from this Chiefs side is they are willing to kind of throw players down the pitch and kind of wait for them. That was something that took them a while to do in that last series against the Kib Gang, and now, I mean, they're kind of keeping that more aggressive edge, and it's bared some results. However, with 30 seconds remaining, I doubt we're going to see as much of that here. The Chiefs, they've only got one, maybe two more opportunities to try and get this equalizer.
From the back half, Kaka just tries to keep the pressure in. Power haven't felt on the back foot against anybody until now. Chiefs have kept an aggressive team in the defensive half, and look at that clear. Half volley from the defense leaves only 10 seconds for Power.
And it's going to be Finn with an open net to work with. They'll put it through. Dagger for game number 1. It's going to the Chiefs.
Gonna get you one day to stop saying dagger and start saying at least nail in the coffin. 3-1. Yeah, it's very American of you, that's all I have to say. 3-1, and Power have certainly sealed it.
I will tell you what the reference is later. Do my best not to kind of drop those on everybody now, but it is going to be a 3-1 Chiefs win. The Gridiron. Just a shout out to my team.
And every single American says it. It's time for you guys to start. American hive mind, as you see. But Chiefs acting like a hive mind in that game, looking really well as a team. Kaka missed a few goals, so even with the scoreboard looking so one-sided to the Chiefs, it could have been even worse for Power.
Would have been. I mean, I'm actually a little bit surprised that Power weren't really able to take advantage of some of those missteps, particularly at the end. But when you just sort of think back and where a lot of that game was played, it really was the Chiefs who controlled so much more possession. They were the team frequently on the attack. They were the team keeping Power on that back foot. And it's a little bit surprising to me because, again, it really took a while for the Chiefs to kind of show that in the last series, but they've kind of carried over their lessons straight into this one, and they answered that question about adaptability straight away.
The question does go to Power in terms of, are they able to start off a series a little bit better? Went 0-2 down in the semi-finals and made it an incredibly close series. That could have gone the other way because if you remember Game 3 overtime, could have easily gone Pioneer's way, and that probably would have stopped them making it here to the grand final.
I mean, it was kind of hinted at in Fever's interview as well. They're a team that they know they're not really playing their best Rocket League yet. It's why we're saying this could be the best opportunity for a player like Finn to get their first regional win. Hunter just misses on that opening pick.
The positive for Power is they haven't been as so over-aggressive and double committee as they have in the past, but I think that's also been why Chiefs have felt like they have a little opening to keep the pressure on, keep Power pinned into their own half with very low boost. See here, Fever backing off to let Torsos have room on the play, and it's worked out for him.
Out pretty well, and we go to the other side, an opportunity maybe for Power, but it's so short-lived. They burn all of their boosts just to get to the opposite end of the pits. It's so easy for Kaka to bring it back, and they nearly score as well.
Oh, great read from Fever off the wall. Maybe wanted a little less power, actually, so that Banana Head could follow up. Torsos taking a risky play with both of his teammates on 0 boost, and Kaka's beaten them all!
Oh, this has been an amazing performance so far from Kaka. Again, the latest of resets right there just to fake out the entirety of the Power side. Kaka has really taken this grand final so far and just kind of put his team on his back right now. He is playing determined to win this one out.
And when you speak of aggression too, Power there, Torsos was the only person with any boost in the tank. And Banana Head off the kickoff ties it back up, so the last goal doesn't go unpunished.
I mean, Banana Head just a really great job sticking on that play, making sure they stay behind the ball and just kind of edge that one through. Your force of will, perhaps, either way. Tie ball game. Good response from the Power side. However, has it really dented the Chiefs' momentum, Yummy? I don't know. Kaka's found another.
This man won't stop. He's scoring left, right, and center. He's got another 2 this game. He had 2 in the last game. And he's trying to put his hand up as the MVP because we questioned him yesterday as a player who's meant to be one of the most consistent players in the region. Didn't have his hand up then. Well, he's certainly put it up now.
And this is going beyond consistency. This is sort of that take a game over expectation that we would put on Finn or put on Hunter, but it's been Kaka who has been stepping up so far for this first game and a half. It is early days, yes, and whether or not this form of play will continue, we will see, especially when Power warms up more and more into the series. But if it's able to continue, Kaka could be leading this Chiefs squad to a big regional win.
Can't do it without any boost, though, and the sustained attack coming out from Power has certainly left the boost tanks empty. It's going to be Torsos now taking it high. What can he do? What can the old dog teach these young kids? What tricks can he teach them? It's going to be Fever instead of followed up and Proof. Woo! How you doing? No, it goes off the post.
And those were those pop-off plays you wanted to see from Fever before. He's so close to having that momentum back, but now Power have to continue a goal down on their own defensive half. Torsos doesn't really get a lot of power behind it, but fortunately the Chiefs, they were rotating back. Finn will be the one forward. Finn's beating everybody. Kaka's waiting in the wings. Does he have another one? Not quite. Fever plays keep away.
And Kaka looking towards the challenge, but ends up backing off, and I love that, letting the teammate behind who has a better challenge go forward. And speaking of that banana head, he splits the defense over and over again by dunking people. He's got the flip reset, and he just stays behind the ball the entire way.
That goal looked reminiscent of the one that we saw in Game 3 in that semifinals, which was really the turning point from Power in their series against the Pioneers. Maybe it will be the turning point in this one, because Torsos now off this kickoff is another threatening touch. They go backward. Banana Head's there, and it's a 3-2 lead.
The kickoff strat's coming out from Team Power. Really like that setup to get that out to Torsos on the side. Most teams would, kind of opt for that second player who's receiving the fake to almost go solo or to take it high up the wall. By keeping it low and soft down to Torsos, it made the play way too fast for the defense to get back.
Exactly what Power needed. Their first lead of this series, and they're looking to add to it now. Finn diving back will make the save, and Banana Head may have creeped too far forward. Fortunately, Kaka's touch not quite all it needed to be, so Power will maintain that possession. This series, though, is definitely heating up. I'm loving what I'm seeing from both these teams. I mean, just in terms of the pace and the tempo, I don't know, maybe I was a little bit off put from that last series, but it's good to be seeing some fast Rocket League again.
Always going to be fast when Power on the pitch, because not only do they play so aggressively themselves, but they're also forcing their opponents to try and match that pace, and often that can be enough in its own right. If you're having to play faster than you're used to, sometimes the mechanics are a little bit harder to execute, and so far only Kaka's been able to execute in terms of scoring goals. He's got 2 in this game, and that's nowhere near enough. Torsos has missed. Fever, can he make up for it? Well. That might be the opportunity for Chiefs.
Oh, that's going to be a painful one for Torsos for sure. Normally you'd expect the vet to drill that instead. There'll be more openings for the Chiefs, and they're going to come right here. Kaka, not enough power to get around Fever, but Finn's got a chance. It goes high. No one in the middle of the field, so Banana Head gets a freebie.
Oh, can somebody stop hitting the crossbar? Both teams now out at Finn. He had the entire net. He knew he had to place it well. He ends up sending that high. Kaka's missed a few. We saw one earlier from Torsos. Just hit the ball in the net. It's where it belongs.
It's so easy. Just put it through, right? Open net. This is, I mean, that second one wasn't open, but still, in the plague, it feels like all regional log. In now, just pops it right over to Fever.
And that might be the death knell for Chiefs in this game. Their chance of making the comeback all the more difficult, with 40 seconds remaining in the amount of touches and challenges that Power are making in the midfield. It has to be right now, and it can't be a touch like that, which goes straight out to the Power team.
Fever, play backward, sets up Banana Head off the second touch, makes it look too easy to get underneath Hunter, and that will do it for this second game. A tied series, Yummy, in about 26 seconds time.
Banana Head's certainly been hitting the gym. That's the third goal this series, where he's just crunched it through with multiple touches through the challenge.
So many big moments, it feels like, for Banana Head throughout this regional when Power has been struggling. That tends to be a name you look for. Comes through in this game, and looking ahead right now,
I don't know exactly where we go. If Power are doing Power things, nobody's been able to beat them yet. Nobody today, nobody in the entire last split. And so realistically, the normal answer to that is to try and throw them off their own game with demos, with boost steals, get them back into their own half, change their playstyle. But it almost seems weird that Power are kind of happy to just be go machines.
I mean, 5-goal performance from Banana Head. I don't want to talk about what happens after that if we look at Worlds, but I feel like this is sort of a different circumstance, a different setting, and a different team. I'm with you, though. If any player on that Chiefs side, too, is going to be that disrupting force, I'm, again, looking at Hunter. I feel like Hunter, in the last series, was the one who started to play deep, started to skill boost, started to get in the way of the Kib Gang, and I can imagine him doing it again here.
See if that is possible. We head towards... It's already been tied up, and now a important game number 3 coming up where we need to see one of these teams get ahead. Chiefs in particular, and throughout the last series, had a few back and forths early on, and they need to wrest control before it gets out of control.
Let's see if they'll get that opportunity. Would love to feel another back and forth grand final here in OCE. The Chiefs don't want to let this opportunity slip away. Again, with the expectation of Power, any points advantage that you get over them, and even a further gap away from teams like the Pioneers, it just increases their odds for that major more and more.
Power have, as we said, all but secured Worlds with how far they are ahead in points. A win would even more so do that, but also get them to the major, because they're a team who really want to get into that top 8. And Kaka gets goal number 5.
Another one, equaling now the total from Banana Head in the last game. This time, though, it was Hunter's pass straight across the box. Kaka, full faith in the team to make that read. It was a fast play, but it was an accurate one. Really well done for the team.
Sometimes you can just literally win off really strong 50s, and case in point right there. 50 straight down to Kaka. A bit of a double commit coming out from Power. Might leave them somewhat awkward in the defense, but a double demo has helped them out immensely in that regard. Although Torsos almost found a bumped opponent to intercept that play, and he's fortunate he just went too far.
Yeah, that could have been an interesting one for sure. I did like the bump attempt, and I do want to see more of that, especially from the Chiefs. Even Kaka, after losing possession, was still hunting for something on the follow-through. They stay forward and get a second goal.
It's unbelievable that Kaka's there and ready for it. It's another fantastic 50. Hunter coming from the side. Fever, it actually came out from that right-hand side of the net. This is often why in defense you want to be 50ing from net side in order to not give your opponent the chance to kind of gain control of it away from your net.
Yeah, that was a smart play from Kaka, who's going to be there for another. It's now a 3-0 lead.
He's got the hat trick. He's got 7 goals out of the 8 that Chiefs have scored across the series. Man can't stop scoring.
What a time to do it as well. It's kind of crazy to think that Kaka right now, looking like the MVP of the event, looking arguably like the best player in the region if you go by our performances today. And we'll see if that continues. Banana Head would be the one who answered last game in game 2 with 5 goals to their own name. Not going to get one off the kickoff here.
Now, I will say, none of his goals have been flashy. They've all been team-oriented as well, with him being the finisher. But you can't look past a series where somebody is scoring that many goals and has put Chiefs right back in front. Yeah, it's only been a minute and a half. And another, make it one more for Kaka. Nobody can stop him.
Retouch, it's just putting that ball towards the net this time as well, taking advantage of an awkward dish down from Banana Head. Was the fastest player to it. 4-0 lead. I know game 3's only just started, Yummy, but it already feels out of reach for the Chiefs.
We've seen so many of these games with Power have just a couple of goals go against them, and then they've crumbled throughout the rest and let a lot in. This could get even worse. Or not.
It's okay. It's okay. Kaka scored enough, right? You can let one go off the crossbar, I'm sure.
A few little raggedy moments out from the Power defense. Question, have they given up? Well, that's going to go pinching right in their net, and that may answer their question. A 5-goal comeback seems impossible.
168 off that pinch. What's the fastest goal we have recorded in OCE?
Oh, I can't remember.
That's got to be up there.
Yeah, probably somewhere around the 180 and 168. Certainly makes it a fast one. Fever really helped him out by challenging from right in front of his own net, but 5-0 now, and the question really becomes, can Kaka score a few more?
There's still half a game to go here. I don't see any reason why not. What just happened with Torsos there? Ball moving too slow, though, for Hunter to reposition themselves and punish, so it won't go in the net this time around. But I'm starting to see more and more shades of power that we saw back on Friday. They're just kind of making weird, awkward reads on defense, getting in each other's way a bit. Awkward touches like that. This is a very concerning sign for the team in blue.
I mean, to be fair, they're 5 goals down at this point in time. They're not going to be too stressed out about the rest of the game. They're not going to be focusing on positioning, which I think clearly is the number one thing they're working throughout this event on. And they get a nice little passing banana head there to get the angle.
And yeah, Fever did kind of allude to that as well. They did cite their struggles. Like, we were joking about the sleep comment, but he said the sleep was affecting the rotations, was affecting the positioning, and that's something that they're going to work on. Banana Head almost just passed it right back to Kaka for their 6th goal.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't feel like they're treating this one too seriously at this point in time. And Kaka almost found a backflip redirect. It's instead going to be, no, Finn gets blocked in front.
And they'll take it back the other way. The mental reset, as Yummy suggested, probably already starting now for game number 4. I feel like we're going to be seeing the timeout then as well.
I would think so. You don't want to let it get too far away from you. If it went to 3-1, you don't want to risk that. So you may as well call the timeout now. Get everybody back on an even keel after... realistically, it doesn't seem like they've been playing too seriously. I mean, you can even see Chiefs right now not taking it too seriously either.
Well, they might start to tighten up a little bit. Another goal from Fever coming off of a bit of a chaotic rush right there to make this one a 2-5 scoreline. Finn almost got back in time, but just not quite where they needed.
Yeah, sometimes when you're in that 4-goal lead area, you're like, you start relaxing, and usually when that goal gets scored, somebody on the team, the captain or the coach, is going to say, all right, guys, like, just tighten up. Let's make sure we don't lose this one.
And, well, that's how you make sure, with a bit of an exclamation point as well. Nice counter from Finn, straight down the middle. Banana Head just kind of threw it straight into them, going for the shot, and he got the 4-goal cushion once more.
It's going to be pretty simple from here for the Chiefs. And how wild has their series been? I mean, Power Series too, in terms of whenever a team wins or loses, it's by a large margin. The last game was not close. This game, even less close. The first game, also equally one-sided, but for 2 different teams, back and forth.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's also crazy with Finn kind of in this extra garbage time almost, has been catching up to Kaka on that goal front. One away from equalizing there as well. But, yeah, you haven't had, that real close back and forth tense game till the end just yet. Each team just taking an early advantage and running away with it. But I feel like you can even go back to the semifinal games that we saw played as well. That was kind of a reoccurring theme with both our first 2 semifinals.
I think Power has a lot to do with that in terms of their play style throughout the semifinals. The last semifinals was a little bit weird, but in the end it ended up being a one-sided series. Banana Head, well, he's maybe looking to get his hat-trick, because we've seen ones from Kaka and Finn. We could get a triple hat-trick throughout this game.
That would be an interesting one. It would also be back-to-back hat-tricks, I believe, for Banana Head as well, after they got 5 goals in the last game. So rarely do you go back-to-back hat-tricks and wind up losing a game. Also, it'll be kind of tough for him to piece it together, especially as Torsos' pass goes awry. So nothing crazy there. Time will tick down. And the Chiefs win a game that you can argue they won about 3 minutes ago, but finally the result gets marked down.
Yeah, what was it, 4 goals or 5 goals in the first 2 minutes, or even less? But man, turnaround. Chiefs, Kaka having a series to remember so far. And the funny thing is, we haven't seen much at all from Hunter. He hasn't needed to have those crazy outplays just yet. And on the other end, we do get the timeout from Power. They're trying to sort it all out now.
Yeah, I imagine this is just going to be, all right, let's lock back in. Let's get our second half form, the same kind of form that we used to make the comeback against the Pioneers. And I kind of like how they still have an extra game cushion as well. We're not in that 3-1 danger zone yet. Yeah. So smart timeout in regards to the Power side. But yeah, you are right. Hunter hasn't really been that big flashy player yet, but hasn't needed to be. Kaka has just been that dominant.
Who do you think is the smart cookie that called the timeout for Power?
Fever.
I thought you'd go straight to Jimmer. We'll maybe find out at the end of the series if they win, but yeah, Power are going to be hitting the books. It's not the same issue that they were having last series in terms of outright just sending 3 people directly at the ball. It feels much more like a puzzle for them on how do we beat the Chiefs right now. And some of that, I think, is that they're missing, that they had at the end of last series, is sending one person forward to always be like hunting for a demo, providing a passing opportunity, stealing boost, and keeping that person always in the pocket of the Chiefs, in the back of their minds. Like, when is there going to be somebody behind me?
Who would you like to see that be? Because
it's got to be all of them, It's usually between Torsos and Banana Head. Banana Head, like the main culprit. Torsos as well. Fever, not so much. He does like to play a bit more of a third man. But, it's whoever's in the right position to be able to do that.
Yeah, I do agree with you in terms of, like, obviously that is their preferences, but it's Torsos who I want to see actually have that impact in that role right now as well, because Banana Head, we've seen, has been still finding shots and has been still kind of winning some of these 1v1s in that situation. So I think to get Torsos a bit more involved, I would be looking for scenarios where he could be that player to be that disruptive force and maybe open the door a little bit more for a Banana Head that is playing pretty well in this grand final.
Always good opportunity to get Torsos involved at that end, because he used to never really go for demos and play off the ball. And nowadays he's one of the highest demoing players in the entire game. So see it come out, and there we go. He's just providing the passing opportunity to Fever instead.
Yeah, it wasn't the positions I expected to see them in off the start, but still, it was Power taking advantage of the timeout buff. Good little kickoff setup, follow through as well. Placed by Torsos, and once again, it's Power in the lead.
With the first goal always being so important for Power, I start already thinking, is this going to be a really one-sided game? With Power getting, a 4-1 victory or something like that. I would not be surprised. Again, important probably for Chiefs to get a quick comeback goal.
I mean, they'd like to see it, but even now I'm seeing Fever rotating through, put pressure on Hunter, which kind of slowed down this follow-up touch. That said, Hunter still makes it work, been unable to sneak it through, but I am seeing, again, how Power, they're sending a player forward frequently. They are starting to steal the boost. They're trying to disrupt that backline. Banana Head in that position on that occasion, and it's good to see Power going back to their roots, and eventually they will be rewarded.
Oh, if Banana Head got the second touch on that one, it would have sent a spanner in the works of the Chiefs' defense. It was going to catch them off guard, but unfortunately couldn't quite get up to it. Instead it goes the other end, and really awkward here for Power. Banana Head does whatever he can. Kako with full boost reins in. Torsos manages to get the touch and the boost at the same time, so he gets a follow-up. Fever on barely anything. What can he do against Hunter? He can get a great challenge.
But a lot of Power members just rotate to that corner, and with that bump, they're going to be slow to the play in the corner. So I imagine we should have seen the Chiefs be able to reestablish themselves. However, Fever, so good at going pitch to pitch, is able to flip the map, but only temporarily. Kaka wills that away from Banana Head. Looking for a bump, not going to find it, as trying to play some back and forth rocket league.
Maybe a chance for Torsos again. Torsos providing the passing opportunity. He's been teaming with Fever for ages now, for yonks, and you can see the connection coming through.
Love Fever as well, pulling away from going for the boost despite initially racing towards it just because they see the play coming in their direction for the perfect dish back over to Torsos. Great heads-up play from Fever in that situation, and now with that 2-goal lead, yeah, to go back to your point, Yummy, it really does feel like that initial goal, that initial momentum swing, so critical in this series because both these teams have just been struggling to fight back.
Well, CJ talks about mentality being 95% of Rocket League. You can see calm heads prevailing here and the experience of Torsos prevailing here in game number 4. Try and equalize up the series once again. Looking a lot more comfortable now, and they're still comfortable to take the ball off each other when needed without kind of just taking over, without sort of taking one player completely out of the game and using all their boost for nothing.
Well, that was a little bit sloppy from the power side right there. Torsos kind of got faked out by their own teammates, so they won't be able to put it in. However, the Chiefs' defense hasn't really been able to fall back and kind of get that control just yet. Finally, Finn will clear it to the other side, but if Power's able to get away with plays like that, they'll hit plays like this. Great goal from Banana Head.
Love that from Fever. It's one of the most underrated passes in all of Rocket League. The roof pass, he gets it straight back down to Banana Head, gunning it up. And I'll tell you what, it's pretty difficult to hit that roof pass as tight as he did without smashing it back into himself.
Absolutely. How he got out of the way, pretty immaculate stuff. And now with that 3-goal lead, what did you say at the start of this one? 4-1 after that first goal?
Yeah, about
more
4-1. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that was going to be a goal, but I was just going to say, just the way that Power are more than anything else, they play a completely different game when they're ahead compared to when they're behind.
I find it so interesting, too, how it feels like no matter what, Power will always force people to play their game. There's the one for the possible 4-1. Hunter gets it through the trap.
A lot of players going through for that one. Hunter manages to win the 25-75. Luck is in his favor today.
Really well done. Really quick on the response as well, the recovery after the initial challenge. And to get that Power, also a shot off kickoff, really catches Power off of balance as well. So as we hit our final 90 seconds, there's the 4 for the 4-1. Torsos hits the open net.
No, don't score anymore, guys. Just leave it at that. In fact, we could just call it. Go to the next game, I would say. But there's still a chance, I guess, a slight chance for Chiefs. They got to stop letting in the Power kickoffs. Because those can always be deadly. Look at that. Another kickoff strategy, but this one was probably the worst kickoff strategy of all time from the Chiefs. Take us through it, that 4-more.
That looked like my lobbies. What happens when everyone just rushes at the ball, runs into each other, and then the net is open on the other end.
I will provide some semblance of an explanation. So I think what happens there, Power are doing the no kickoff strategy, so they send the back man for the kickoff purposely just to stop any kind of funny business. And what happens is the two people that were both going for the kickoff on the Chiefs ended up going, oh, we're seeing they're not going, let's pull out. Each of them thinking that they'll be the one to pull out and their teammate will still do something with it. And they both end up pulling out of the kickoff, and that's why it completes them.
It was awkward, no matter which way you look at it. Unfortunately for the Chiefs, I think with that, I don't know, you can talk daggers, nails, other sharp objects. They're just getting sharpener now. Knives out, 6-point lead.
Sharpener?
Yeah, like a knife sharpener.
Okay, well, sharper is also a word. But 6-1. 41 seconds remaining. I didn't get the 4-1 correct, but maybe they can go for the 7-1 instead.
I'm sure that would make Twitch chat very happy if we can hit that score
We love
line.
making Twitch chat happy, don't we? In fact, we've had a lot of happy people. I've seen you all arguing in Twitch chat about who's a terrible region, who's good, who's bad, who's right and who's wrong, who's spamming and who's not. Listen, guys, we'll still have some fun.
I think that's how Twitch chat has fun. They're just a lively bunch.
Yeah, half of them are trolling, and then half of them are trolling the trolls. But then there's another half, a third half, who are not understanding that the first half are trolling, and there's a fourth half that don't understand that the second half is trolling, and everybody gets upset, and that makes me happy as well.
When you have, when you have 4 halves in it, 2 holes, you're bound to have some messiness. Kind of like how that last goal went in as well. Finn will get one to end this game off, but a power victory, 2-2 now. At most, we only have 3 games left of this first regional, Yummy. This is getting tense.
Well, I would almost argue that it's not been tense the way that the games have been. You kind of just know.
Tense.
You just kind of know there's a couple of goals, and then that's the end of the game settled, and you just have to wait 4 minutes for the next one to see who will get the first goal there. And we've been able to predict that because it's just been Chiefs power, Chiefs power. I would have loved to see Chiefs timeout called, so they have called the timeout apparently.
Yep. Exactly. They got to make sure they keep this pendulum swing in full effect, so the Chiefs now are going to play for their timeout buff. But yeah, it has been that quick ebb and flow. We haven't had the back and forth game. We've had the back and forth series, and I'm hoping, now that we're at the tail end of it all, this is when things will heat up. This is when both teams will finally come out at their best, even after the first goal is scored. And this might be some copium based on the way how things have gone, but I'm feeling optimistic we're going to get the banger finale we deserve.
Thank you, Twitch chat, as well. I've been learning, apparently, that there is a fifth half that are not part of any of the argument. And we love the fifth half as well. So we head towards a game number 5. Whoever wins this one will be on match point. And, well, speaking of points, it almost seems pointless to worry about how it's going to go because we'll know from the first minute.
Exactly. This is where you should just employ the best kickoff strats, right? Ensure you get that first goal every time. Reach deep into the bag of tricks. Make sure you pull it through.
We can expect that from Power. We've already found out that the bag of tricks that comes out from Chiefs is not really a bag, or at least it has a giant hole in it. They put their arm in and it went straight out the other end, and they all of a sudden didn't understand why they didn't grab a goal, and it was instead of their own net. But it'll be interesting to see if Power go for the kickoff strategy right from the get-go.
I'd like to see something like that. I'd like to see something a little bit outside of convention, particularly on that Chiefs side as well, because again, that tends to be the best way to beat this Power side. So as we get geared up to go, game number 5, a chance to go to tournament point, and it's standard kickoffs this time around. There's a demo, there's Banana Head, and it's going in the net.
Yeah, nothing too extravagant, but it still leads to a goal. It's just a pure 50 out from Banana Head. Hunter races, thinks he's going to beat the 0 boost player, but Banana Head is too close.
This is big because this is not only sort of a shift in momentum when it comes to these odd-numbered games, but now Power once again with the lead right out the gate, already hunting to find another one. If they get that shot, it still is a goal. Power already running away with game 5.
I hate this. I hate this game, and I hate Rocket League, and I hate that Power keep both of these teams keep deciding the game in the first literal 12 seconds. Somebody learn how to do a kickoff on the Chiefs already. That's way better than loss over to your teammates. Anything.
I mean, there's a lot of time for them to come back in. I'm going to be the glass half full. I think if the Chiefs can settle, if they can get a goal, if they can find a way to get Kaka back involved like he was at the start of the series, they may find a way back in this game.
I mean, it's obviously possible, but we've just not been experiencing it at all across this series.
Going to be where it changes. This is going to be where things get mixed up a little bit because they still have that timeout buff, and I would hate to imagine it got wasted just because of 2 unfortunate kickoff situations.
Well, I don't know about the timeout buff. I do know that this is a grand final and an important game 5 because Power, it's been rested back and forth. Power haven't been able to get 2 in a row. And you could argue that it might even be worse. But it's so weird when you have a game like this where it's been decided off kickoffs because, normally you're thinking, okay, this is the better team. They're controlling the midfield. They're controlling the mid-game. But you can't really judge a team for being better in the midfield or anything like that if all their goals are just coming from the first 12 seconds.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough one to judge. It's a tough one to read, but I do like how this game seems to have settled down now. Granted, it's still been more in Power's control. They've just been slowing down the pace in the middle of the pitch, but maybe the Chiefs can find something here. It's a good challenge from Finn. Not a lot of boost that he has to work with. Burns it all, though, for that next touch. Kaka swings and misses, and so, too, goes the Chiefs' momentum.
We'll be turning around. 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes for Chiefs to try and find their way back in. Kaka, who hasn't really been on the pitch. I mean, we've seen him score so many of the goals early on the series, hasn't been able to match that just yet in this game or any other. And Torsos tries to make it 3, but the defense just stays strong for now. And Finn, it's a big clear out, no follow-up.
Follow-up initially, but it's not the fastest pushback from Power just yet. Banana Head tries to go solo, and Kaka's there. Here comes Finn. Not fast enough to beat out Fever Hunter, though. Full tank of gas, middle of the pitch. We'll try to center it. Torsos goes down, misses. Now looking for the bump. Can't find it on Banana Head, so Kaka's shot will be disrupted. Chiefs starting to get closer. They're starting to squeak a couple more opportunities, but nothing too threatening as of yet.
Squeaking and squeezing the Power defense. Able to keep their boost up throughout that one, and they've turned it to the other end. Finn avoids the bump and has the full boost, so he's going to be crucial here for the Chiefs in this line of defense. Finn, I think he was originally looking to pass that across to Kaka. Maybe didn't see him close on the wall. Maybe got called off.
Oh, no.
And that is terrible. Kaka's passed it straight to Fever.
It feels like the magic that Kaka felt at the beginning of this series is kind of gone to the wayside right there. Not sure if they expected Hunter to kind of come off that backboard to follow through underneath, or if they just didn't see Fever in that situation, but not the touch the Chiefs were looking for.
It's hard to really even know what Kaka wanted with that touch, because obviously he doesn't want that one. He's probably expecting either more power or that he's getting underneath it and flicking it up. But in the end, straight down to Fever, who just plays very, very close to the ball. Plays as if he exactly knows the only touch that Kaka can make. And 3-0. Maybe make it 4 in the near future, the way that these games have been going.
It'd be very, very likely. That said, you'd still like to see the Chiefs get at least one across in this final minute or so. And again, they were on that blue side of the pitch, but unable to really get any threatening touches. It feels like beautiful wrap around from Fever, sets up Torsos, and there's that 4th goal you want.
I'll tell you what, this is a very, very Season 1-esque goal. Usually rolling it around the corner right in front of the net is the easiest one to save these days, because you know exactly where the ball is going, but there's a little misread in front of the net, and a kickoff goal. There's the 4-1 once again.
There you go, and it's actually the Chiefs who get a kickoff goal for once, so you see a little bit of a kickoff strat that kind of falls apart when Banana Head doesn't get all of that touch on the goal line. I'm sure what the plan was between Banana Head and Fever there, but unfortunately for Power, they do let that one through.
You can kind of see that they were just trying to let that one go through and give Banana Head a free touch that would hopefully be a pass to Fever, but he's completely misexecuted it. You don't expect a player of Banana Head's caliber to do that, and Torsos has pre-jumped the hell out of all of them.
Yeah, that was just, I mean, smart pre-jump, I suppose. Nobody on the Chiefs ready for that. And if we thought there was any chance of the comeback here in this 5th game, we can put that aside for now and remember it was the Power side that scored.
Very interesting. 50 seconds remaining, so you could see that the Chiefs were playing very aggressive, because normally you can see how much your opponents have pre-jumped. Kaka gets at it. I was racing for a second there because that was the openest of goals that Hunter missed.
It was, but you still had Finn on the goal line, making sure no one would get near the ball, so it's okay. They had time to slow it down, put it through. 3 goals, 37 seconds. It's not likely.
Well, old man Hart can't really take too much of this. I swear, if we get another kickoff goal, I'm sick of it.
We should have the option to just, the caster should have the option to just GG go next. We should make that call and be like,
this
okay.
game could literally go for another 5 minutes because there's a kickoff goal every 2 seconds. We have to watch the replay every time.
Exactly. That's why we need the executive decision making to just declare a winner after too many kickoff goals. Okay, fortunately that one doesn't go through. Kickoff
goal somehow averted. Still a chance that there's one 10 seconds later, but defense holds for now, and that's why I'm excited about it. I'd be happy for anybody to just not score a goal in what has been maybe the highest scoring grand final I've ever seen.
But with every game being one-sided as well, it's kind of a bit ridiculous. This feels like a match we would see, on the early rounds in Swiss almost, but this is our grand final, and we're going to have to play at least one more game. Maybe possibly two if the Chiefs can turn it back, but as that timer hits 0, let's get one more in for good measure. Banana Head from the sidewall.
We wanted to go the next game, Banana Head. You're greedy to get your hat-trick again. Yeah, another hat-trick for Banana Head. Well, at least, we'll say, compared to the G2 series, am I right? At least he's done it twice in one series, huh?
Pretty good, back to back, and now all he needs is one more, and that will probably seal the deal and get that big regional win, 4th in a row.
Jesus. 4 regionals after what was a travesty from them in the Swiss stage. Could not have gone any worse, but they're so experienced. They have a great coaching staff. They've got their heads screwed on, and they've managed to fix themselves up. Now, is that going to last another game? They got 2 games in a row, which they haven't been able to do throughout the series. Have they taken control, or was it just purely the fact that they got 2 kickoff goals and that decided the game?
I would like to see what happens when we don't get a goal for the first minute of play. That, to me, would lead to the most interesting
You're describing
game
paradise right now. That's heaven. I mean, I can't remember a time in my entire history at this point that there wasn't a goal in the first 20 seconds. That's all we've seen. I want something different.
Exactly, and that's what we're going to get. Again, I'm seeing into the future, Yummy. We're going to get what we want. It's going to be 2 more conservative approaches on the kickoff, both teams recognizing let's not lose the game in the first 15 seconds of play, and hopefully things will improve from there. See, now Fever has a chance, and no, there we go. Kaka had the save.
It was a very simple kickoff and just a slight win coming out for Power, slightly in their favor to the left side where they could follow up. But now Banana Head's going for the long play, looks for the dunk. He loves that because he's so good at getting the flip resets that players often go high on the challenge over the top of him, and then he'll dunk them low.
But wasn't able to take it back on this occasion. Torsos will get the free touch though with Banana Head pushing forward. That's just a bang down and through. Power get the first goal.
What a creamy, dreamy little pass here from Torsos. Keep it simple. And Banana Head kisses the net with a lovely shot to finish it off.
Look, it wasn't a kickoff goal, but it's still an early one, and we've seen what happens when Power get those quick goals, so I'm a little bit nervous here at the Chiefs. I need to see the fast response now. Kaka had a chance, but it's still Power who gets possession. Shot from Fever, barely saved by Finn.
Going to be tough for Chiefs with the low boost to get out of defense here and keep themselves away from Banana Head. Important touch from Finn as Hunter looks for the follow. Fever goes straight towards the net. The grand final could be decided right now, and that's why we have to keep the pace up with 4 minutes on the clock. That's when every game has essentially ended in the past. Torsos has Fever in support right behind. Is that a strong enough touch out of the defense? No, it's not, but Hunter follows it up as well. Torsos goes for the shot, goes wide.
Finn's touch looked good. Kaka, though, just didn't have the boost to follow up underneath. In fact, nobody on this Chiefs side has had boost at all, it feels like, for this attack. It could be a matter of time. It could have been now. But Torsos will get bumped off the play, and now Hunter finally with something to work with. Gets midfield. Good touch by Finn, but is intercepted by a pre-jumping Banana Head, who gets past another defender. Finn has to rotate around and clears it safe.
The midfield line being held so strongly by Power, they will not let the ball cross it, forcing Chiefs to always be kind of just using their back two full boosts. The third player has to just live purely on the pads. As you can see, that leaves Hunter on complete zero. Finn has to do a lot here. Beats out one. Banana Head turns backwards and gets it over the top of Kaka. No, Kaka keeps it clean.
Hopefully Kaka can do a bit more with this as well. The Chiefs have been waiting to see that game 1, game 3 form from Kaka. It's been lacking for a little bit. Would love to bring it out now. Fever, though, will get the first touch. Hunter, no boost, can't stay contesting. So we'll give Fever all the space across the middle. Finn save on the line.
Still no single shot, so only one single shot from Chiefs, but no real opportunities to score in this game compared to the 8 shots that have already come out from Power, peppering this defensive half.
I mean, it has just been all power controlled, and now Fever from the roof actually lets that one sail. Torsos not quite ready for it, so not an immaculate attack by any stretch from the Power side. They're going to have to reset themselves on their own back end, but there's just no one there to initially challenge, so Fever gets a pretty simple clear all the way back to the orange side of the field.
Well, Power's not about immaculate plays. They're about quick plays. They're about little passes. They're about keeping your opposition out, and then when you have the room, then go for something a little bit more special as Fever keeps that defense alive. Chiefs finally putting a little bit of pressure on them.
I mean, it's going to be Kaka with space. Torsos goes up to meet them, but loses out on the 50. Finn underneath, throws it back middle of the field. Hunter has to dive for it to stop Fever from getting the breakaway, yet Torsos is still there. Kaka, good rotation all the way back. However, once again, Power is on their attacking half.
Banana Head can't get the flip reset going. It almost fakes out one, but Kaka hanging down the other edge. Finn takes the boost away from Fever. It's going to be Torsos just trying to take it out by himself. Gets the 100 boost. Pre-jump out from Finn. Works out well there if Torsos can get this touch, but it's broken the other way. Hunter, flip reset, past Fever, down to Finn, but Banana Head stops it.
And Banana Head's going to keep going with it as well. They have Torsos on the wing. He'll drive it through. Saved by Kaka on the line. And we go back one more time for the Chiefs. Finn versus Fever. It's easy set up for Torsos, who gets challenged by Hunter. Every touch, someone's there until now. Fever gets a big goal to give a 2-point lead.
It was close throughout the entire game. Just one goal the difference. But look at that pass from Banana Head. It looks like he's going to hit it left towards the corner, but he knows a quick turnaround, pass the ball over to Fever, opens up the net.
And in this pivotal Game 6, one big game away, Power has found both of their points through these midfield passes, just out-tempoing the Chiefs side. 45 seconds, desperation now for the team in orange. They just have no momentum. They have no space to work with. They're getting in each other's way. Power just has to control the ball for this final half minute.
And all they're trying to do is get up to the ball first, get some extra touches. A little crazy commit from Banana Head given the 2-goal lead to win the entire grand final, but he still managed to get a little touch on the defenders, keep them from quickly getting it down to the other end. 15 seconds left. What can Kaka do?
Kaka can try to set up Hunter underneath, but they're not going to get there in time. Finn is there, needs to score off this push time. Working against them, Kaka's shot denied by Torsos, and that will do it. It wasn't the sloppiest, or I should say it wasn't the cleanest regional, Yummy. It was a sloppy one for sure, but Power has gone for the 4-peat.
Not a grand final to be proud of, but a grand final to be happy with for the Power, who now go 4 times back-to-back, winning throughout this entire season. It just goes to show that you can have a bad day in Swiss, but it does not matter if you can perform, win the playoffs when it really, really matters. And there we go. Chiefs still going to have to be happy with second place. They still get themselves in a good position towards that major, but they're not going to be happy with their performance here, CJ.
Yeah, it wasn't as you said, the grand final to be, but I mean, how impressive for Power. Regardless of how they played, over the course of the weekend, the fact that now this is 4 regionals, 4 qualifiers in a row, they have yet to lose a single weekend of RLCS here in OCE. That's something to hang your hat on.
How many points away would they be actually at this stage from securing the Worlds at this stage? Because it feels like it's getting
Let's be
very
realistic when it comes to actually 100% securing it like Direct wants. They're probably still a ways away because, they could come dead last and get 0 points in the next 2 events. But that's not going to happen. We know that Power, at bare minimum, could come top 8 and maybe get a really bad first round in the quarterfinals, and that would be, that's got to be enough to get them through.
Yeah, they're there. I mean, what are they going to do? There's no way they lose every single like they get DQ'd for the rest of the year or something. Maybe they don't make it. But
You know, we could have 2 other OCE teams go over to the major and come first and second and absolutely leapfrog. But again, I'm not gonna even keep that as a realistic chance.
Look, you can dare to dream, but I think for the most part, you have to say this is our number 1 seed. It's going to be our number 1 seed for the rest of the year, and deservedly so. They've already won more than half of the possible qualifiers you can win, given there's only 2 splits now formal. So yeah, it just increases, the weight of each victory. You don't have 9 events, you've only got 6, and to win 4 already, it is an enormous achievement.
They're the Max Verstappen of Oceanic Rocket League at this stage. Again, even when they have bad days, grip's not all there, they're still finding ways to win. And we have to start thinking, okay, can they go for the 6th peat? Actually, can they win every single regional?
Now, I know not everybody in chat is a ginormous nerd like you are. Who's Max Verstappen?
I would say he is currently the best F1 driver. He's winning everything.
Zoom cards.
Fortunately enough, though,
exactly.
This is not as boring as the F1, I'd say. Even when Power are winning, we're still having some entertaining Rocket League across the weekend. So, yeah, credit to them. For Chiefs, though, guys, they'd be happy with that first result. Just getting a top 2, certainly better than how they started the first split of the season. And they've got, room to grow there, stuff to work on.
I think every team has stuff to work on.
Yeah.
Everybody, even from Power, of course, they can't be starting off slow like they have. Every other team have made roster changes. They need to kind of figure out what they need to tighten up. And that's always what the first regional of a split, or at least a first regional after a ton of roster changes, is all about, because you kind of don't know how you're going to perform under pressure compared to how you're practicing in scrims.
And I also do want to shout out actually Kaka and their performance, particularly today as well. Yes, they didn't get that end result in the last couple games. They went invisible, but there were some moments early in that grand final and through the semifinals as well where they were playing at that level. And I'd still kind of make an argument that if you look at this regional as a whole, they might be the best player.
Well, let's take a quick look at the bracket for the top 8, I guess you could say. Here we go. There's how it all panned out. 1 Game 7. Throughout the entire single elimination. The grand final almost going the distance. As you said, Kaka looking pretty good. Chiefs putting up a fight, but sometimes, the heat is too much and, they've got to get out of the kitchen when Power are cooking like they are. Another regional victory, as you can say. They took down Ground Zero, took down Pioneers in 7, and took down Chiefs as well. Well done to Team Power. Anyone else on that bracket you want to give a little shout out to, Yummy?
Shout out Ground Zero, as you know, big fan.
And your boy Misty, HSP there, that's making me hungry seeing that one. I'm not sure if we have the points bracket. Maybe it would be crazy if we just transition to points. I'm not sure though, but just know the Power on an absolute bucket load of points once we do get that up. But
do you think that maybe next regional, CJ, we might get some games that aren't 5-0s in a grand final?
Yeah, look, again, I know I heard your plea for kickoff goals. That has to be the first thing that Chiefs will be working on, surely. I mean, just having a kickoff where you don't concede on it. I think we need to stop looking at kickoffs that you can score from and just look for doing safe kickoffs. Would be nice for Chiefs as well. I don't know. I get frustrated. It's always easier to watching these games formal than when you're playing, trust me, to see what's happening. But I just felt like, once Power stepped it up, Chiefs just sat back. They were waiting for Power to do something, and you're never going to be able to, get a win if you're not pushing up and really taking the fight to Power.
But I feel like that's also kind of been this Chiefs roster's MO when they were under pressure. Like we saw that in the early stages against the Kib Gang and against the Gremlins as well. Here are your points, though, by the way. And I think the big one that people are going to be paying attention to, Chiefs, 4 points ahead of Kib Gang and Pioneers. That would be the big shocker.
The big thing as well here, Yummy, is that there's no extra bonus point for getting a win. Previously in the first split, I believe it was an extra couple, 1 or 2 points for getting that win.
Not in the first split of this season, but last season, yeah.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah, I know it's hard, because the year just goes... When you're this old, CJ, as old as you and I, like years just go by like that, you know.
Okay,
So-
well, hang on. What I meant, actually, no, that I was right. You're wrong. What I meant was there's the gaps now. It's an even sort of spread. I didn't explain it very well, but previously, going from second place to first was 4 points compared to third, fourth to getting into the grand final was a 3-point gap. So now it's just 4, 4, 4 all the way up from the quarterfinal. So what I'm trying to say is there's not as big of an advantage to make the grand final to winning rather than making it in. And even these top 4 placements, all I'm seeing here on these points is what I'm trying to say is there's going to be a lot of tiebreakers for those final 2 spots.
Hopefully, especially I could see a big one happening between the Chiefs and the Pioneers if things kind of play out as we expect them to. I mean, I'm hoping we get to see them play against each other in a semifinal as well in the second or third regional.
I expect that we won't have the same quarterfinal matchups we had this time.
Surely
I don't
not.
expect Power to absolutely crumple in the Swiss again.
If Power are the 6th seed, something crazy's happened. But speaking of Power, we do have an interview ready with the champ himself, Big T. Another regional dub, 4 on the board, mate. How you feeling?
That's another one in the bag. I can't even believe we won, really. Shows how we're great. We're really good. We're a great team.
At this point in time, do you even remember like what it's like to lose a regional?
Not really. It's a great feeling. Back in the day, you know, this is how it was. Bring it back into 2024. Old man, still got it.
This is a setup question for you, I guess. But what do you think of the region and all the other teams in it if you can play as bad as you did today and still win it?
Okay, genuinely, like scrims between the teams are actually kind of good. But on the game day, no one can do it. No one can do it. So, and
what's
we apparently
changing?
can do it the most, though, which is all that matters.
What's changing then? Like, what are we not seeing from these other teams? Like that's happening in the scrims, what's not happening on game day? Can they actually defend against kickoffs?
Yeah, like that ball usually gets hit most of the time. People
Nice.
aerial in scrims on game day. Maybe a bit nervous, get a bit nervous. Can't get the aerials going. You're seeing I was missing everything as well. Didn't matter. But not even getting punished for missing. That's how bad it is.
Gee,
Well,
you
Fever,
Yeah,
you know,
Fever's
threw
a
one
good
of you
player,
under
he's a
the
good
bus. So which was the one of you and Banana Head that didn't sleep last night?
Wasn't me.
Oh,
yeah, on my
You're not
life,
going to name
wasn't
names,
me.
but it
No,
wasn't
I'm
you.
not naming names, but it wasn't me. It wasn't
Well,
Fever.
process of elimination.
Damn,
Well,
Jimmer, you need to
Yeah, I
sleep
know.
more.
I would say Jimmer really messed us up on that Swiss stage. So
Well, it's good, Torse, that you're the worst advertisement for OCE Rocket League, just saying the gameplay's terrible. What's next for you guys then? We asked Fever about it. You know, you won, you dominated. Are you looking for the undefeated entire season, or is it more international stuff? Like, what's going to make you happy at the end of this season?
well, coming into this season, our goal was first and foremost win all 6 because felt like we were so far ahead of everyone, as I guess the first split sort of showed. So I guess winning the next 2 would be. So don't even think I've won. What's happened? So winning the next 2 would be good, I suppose. And then, I mean, yeah, the top 8, the betting past 2 and 3 would be nice.
Yeah, maybe top 4. How's about top
maybe
4?
Top 1.
Or top 1. There you go.
Did you guys
And then
feel...
people will stop saying in chat that Zen is better than you.
I know. Well, clearly isn't, is he?
hate when they say that. Did you guys feel, obviously it was a 9-month break between, you know, the world champs and then, or the last time you guys played at LAN and then the first major. Do you feel like, guys, you kind of had the boot camp, you got a little bit better, you know, you've got another major and then a worlds. You think that a couple more boot camps and you can bridge that gap?
No, I know, like I was saying, when we went over after like the break of like 9 months, we like, holy, we were getting destroyed. It was actually like season 3, like we were just watching everyone clip on us in net, like, oh, I guess we're not very good. So I feel like we did a lot of progression, and I mean, if we played the LAN without a boot camp, like, it wasn't gonna be good. So we gotta win in there. I think
Do
if we
you-
get more.
Have you thought about Worlds and the fact that there's quite a gap between the next major and Worlds, assuming you make the major, whether there'll be a longer boot camp for Worlds even?
Well, it'd be good because like the long break's a bit dangerous, especially when you're stuck in OCE. People who haven't made Worlds probably just gonna have 2 hours past
nobody.
Like, yeah, exactly. So I mean, hopefully there's maybe like a few tournaments in between, keep us warm maybe.
All right. Well, then I'm going to have to ask, what would be your dream boot camp location? Like, are you going to NA, EU, getting everybody to hang out in the South Pacific? How would that work?
EU boot camp, EU ranked. Like, if we were like NA ranked, just not it. EU get like everyone's so good. You're just playing random 1800 and they're just farming you with ease when you get over there. Like random 1800s, be pro and OCD, come over.
There you go. There you go. Call to arms. We want them all.
Yeah, come over. We'll get better as well if they do that.
OCE, bring them over here. There you go. Well, Tors, congratulations. Yet another. I mean,
one thing I have to say. One thing I've trolled the sponsors. Big shout out to Nacon, my favorite sponsor. Love their headsets and getting us the win this weekend.
There you go. Shout out to Power Management, who are just spamming Torsos to make sure they get the reads through. Congrats, Tors, on another win. All the best in the next couple of events, and hopefully, you're the major world champs. You can put OCE back on the map.
Hopefully, thank you guys.
Let's go. Well done. There you go. Torsos from Team Power. Congratulations to all of the Power guys, and not Jimmer, who apparently stayed up all night last night.
Classic Jimmer. It's just so irresponsible, that guy.
How can you play without your coach? How can you play without your coach?
Formal knows. Formal talks about it all the time. The coach is the most important player on the pitch.
They call timeout. Ask Kib Gang. What happened there?
I mean, I don't know if he's on the pitch, but I don't know if even coaches call timeouts half the time. Sometimes it's on the players, but regardless, congratulations to Gemma. Shout out to you. Banana Head, how about you get some sleep next time so we don't have that chaotic gameplay? Team Power, congratulations. The Chiefs, commiserations to those guys, but I'm sure they'll be happy. And that is it from us. Any last thoughts, Formal? We'll go down the line.
It's great to be back on a major broadcast. We know how crazy last split got, and a big shout out, thank you to Fortress for being able to help us present that and show you as things hopefully heat that same level of fight for the number 2 seed potentially. So it's just great to be back, man.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you, everyone in Twitch chat. You've made this weekend all the better because, again, we have been watching you, making sure that you guys are involved. A few people maybe in the middle of today, they could have, maybe been a little bit better, but glad that you guys have all been here. Hope you really enjoyed the broadcast being back, and I look forward to the rest of the split.
Yeah, felt like there was something missing last split. Well, obviously we knew what it was. It was a broadcast. How good is it to be back? Shout out to Fortress, as you guys said. Shout out to production, everyone behind there. Shout out Chris. I know you're listening, absolutely loving it. Let's do it again in a couple of weeks' time, shall we? Thanks everyone watching at home. That's it from the first Open Qualifier number 4, should I say. First one of the second split. We'll be back in a couple of weeks to do it all again. See you later.
keep you got me twist.